Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is F1 Tonight Netherlands. I am your host, Daniel Hazzah, Burt. And joining me, as always, the fantastic, the magnificent, the almighty Adrian Stats Rich. How are you, sir?
Very, very well, thank you, Dan. And as always, I really appreciate that amazing introduction.
Of course, there's no other way to do it, mate. There's no other way. Of course, we are here this evening for round number 5 of the F1 Tonight Netherlands Season 7. This is, of course, a Spanish Grand Prix at the circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. And without further ado, let's take a look at our Constructors Drivers' Championship. Here we go. So, leading the way after a fantastic drive out last time in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, it's Boy Williamson with 72 points for Ferrari in P1. Just behind him, Nicky Visser, now moved to Toro Rosso last week, of course. He's 63 points in second place. Damien Hartman is third for Alfa Romeo. Pasden Brain, also for Alfa Romeo, P4. Marcel Droning moves up to P5 for Red Bull. Sander Herman for Ferrari is P6. Guido Urshan for Red Bull, P7. Phil de Witt in the McLaren is P8. John Donkor for Toro Rosso, P9. Paul Quarret is 10th for Mercedes. Ari Kopp, 11th for Williams. Nishay Mahadra Singh for McLaren is 12th. Mark Stappers is 13th for Renault. And then the guys yet to score so far, Martin Pardy Cooper for Williams, P14. Peter Phillip for Renault is 15. Miguel Torney for Mercedes is 16. And then the new guy for the Haas is Barry Deepervein, who joins us for the first time tonight. Wish him the best of luck, and of course, welcome to F1 tonight. We hope you have a good race, sir. So he sits there in 17th in the only Haas we have so far. Of course, the other one unoccupied, and then the 2 racing points as well, both unoccupied. So, Adrian, looking pretty tasty up the top end, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's kind of been that way since the second race. Really, I know this is only the start of the fifth Grand Prix, but yeah, it's only 18 points between first and fourth, and second and third very, very close, just 1 point between them as well. And actually, both second and third are previous champions of F1 Tonight Netherlands as well.
Yeah, so pretty spicy, of course, to go at the top end. Not a champion just yet. Looking good for him so far, though, isn't it?
Yep, yeah. It looks like I don't want to jinx him, but it's certainly looking like his season so far.
Yeah, indeed. And even you've got sort of then after that, we've sort of got 3 battles really going on at the moment. Of course, top 4, and then you've got this kind of midfield battle between 5th and 9th, and then you've got another battle between 10th and 13th, haven't you? Really?
Yeah, that's right. And you often find that in not just in F1 Tonight, but in leagues in general, and indeed in real Formula One. Sort of the top 6 will battle it out. Then there'll be a battle for the Formula 1.5 they call it.
Yeah.
So I expect that to continue. We may see drivers like Marcel Droning and Guido Urshan in the Red Bull. Sander Hermans there in the Ferrari. We may see them push further up that table come the end of the season. But yeah, it remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I expect to see those guys move up as well if they can get the races they would like, of course. Other than that, though, pretty straightforward, isn't it? Of course, the guys down the back of the field yet to score, but all have the potential to do it. The main talking point, though, I think, with guys that are a bit underperforming in points is the Mercedes, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, definitely. Paul Quarret, for example, he has finished 4th in previous races before, and his pace in qualifying is generally very good.
Yeah.
He's only been with us for a season. His teammate though, Miguel Torney, is one of the kind of OG members, very, very experienced. But he'd be the first to tell you he's not the quickest in this league. However, he's done more races than his teammates certainly, and quite a few of the other drivers. So yeah, he knows what he has to do. It's just whether he can get his setup right. Really,
Yeah.
That seems to be a recurring issue with Mercedes so far this season. It doesn't look like the setups are quite correct.
Yeah, we're just going to touch on that myself as well. It looks like they probably, at least from what we can see on the stream, at least looks like they might be running a time trial-esque setup, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does tend to be that way. Having said that, Dylan Platt runs very, in my opinion anyway, very time trial-esque setups in the races, and they tend to work for him. But every driver's got their own personal preference.
Yeah, indeed. And now going over to the constructors side of the championship. Alfa Romeo lead the way. The first guys to get past that 100-point mark. They are 116 points in first place. Then it's Ferrari with 99 points in second. Toro Rosso, 78 points. They jump all the way up to third with Nicky joining the team. Red Bull have 55 points in fourth place. McLaren with 30, they're fifth. Mercedes have 9 and they're sixth place. In seventh, it's Williams with 6. Renault have 2 points. They're in eighth. And 9th and 10th, the guys yet to score. Haas now have Berry, which will be good, so they can start looking at scoring points again. Of course, the racing points, no drivers yet, so they'll still remain on 0. I think the big thing just to mention first is, of course, before people do start to comment and say, well, hang on, that's a bit weird that guys left Toro Rosso and taking all the points with him. It's a league-specific thing, and it's just for the kind of first couple of races in the league that this kind of thing happens. After that, any other driver changes won't carry all the points over. So in this instance, of course, with Nicky joining with I think 63 points, it's bumped them right up to third, which is great for Toro Rosso, of course. Not so much for the other teams, but anything after this, any moves won't have the same effect.
Yeah, just to sort of touch on that slightly, it's a bit of a rare situation where he's left a team who he was the only driver for, and has joined another team that had a spare seat, so he hasn't replaced anyone, which I think is why they've decided to, or another reason why they've decided to carry the points over, because it doesn't actually make any difference whatsoever. No. in terms of team points.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the other teams though, still that Ferrari Alfa Romeo battle we've seen been going on for kind of most of the Grand Prix so far this season is still hot and going, isn't it? Those two only 17 points apart at the moment. Yeah,
absolutely. Yep. And with Alfa Romeo top, their drivers are third and fourth in the championship at the moment. It's that's quite a rare thing to be leading the constructors without anyone even in the top two. But it just goes to show how good they are as a pairing.
Yeah.
Damien Hartman and Den Brian they both won many races. Hartman champions of season 5, and De Bruyne runner-up that season, actually. Been runner-up 4 times, I think, and constructor champion 5 times. So
very nice.
That's testament to that.
Absolutely, yeah. And you were touching on sort of placement in the championship. Of course, the other guys, Ferrari, Toro Rosso, they're kind of other ends of the championship, aren't they? You've got the likes of Boy Williamson at the top end, and then Zander Herman's sort of struggling a little bit at the initial races. He's down in, I think, 6th or 7th, and then the same kind of situation with Toro Rosso.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's currently 6th at the moment. But yeah, that's I wouldn't say he's sort of pulling the team down, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, Sander Herman is capable of winning races. In fact, he won Australia at the start of last season.
Yeah.
I think he won one near the end of the season as well. He might have even won the final race. I have to go back and check the stats for that one. I haven't got that written down, but yeah, he's certainly not a number 2 driver, and I expect him to be up there with his teammate a few races down the line.
Indeed, and similar to the Constructors' Championship, obviously you've got the battle going on between sort of Renault, Williams, Mercedes at the moment. They're kind of still in those single digits, so they could see a lot of change over that end of the field today.
Yeah. Well, with those kind of guys, one good result for any one of those sort of 6 or 8 drivers, can just rocket any one of those teams up a place. So it's or a couple of places,
Indeed, yeah, all very exciting stuff as always. And going over now to the track overview, we are of course here in Barcelona. And the circuit length for the circuit to Catalunya is 4.651 kilometers. with a total race length this evening of 307.105 kilometres, and 66 laps to go around this track this evening. The first sector takes us from the start-finish line all the way up to turn 4. That tricky turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3 complex, really. Very, very high speed corners, especially turn 3. Don't want to get any oversteering in your setup there, because that can really mess up the third turn there to set you up into the second sector. That then goes from turn 4 all the way down to about halfway down the back straight. I think actually in reality it's a bit closer to turn 10. But again, another sort of complex of difficult corners here. Turn 4, fairly tame. Turn 5, downhill, left-hander, which takes you through the little kink of 6, but it's 7 and 8 really in that sector, the tricky ones. Horrible traction coming out of 7 most times, and the back end can slip out, which isn't very fun going through there uphill to turn 9. That's a fast right-hander, which leads you onto the back straight. And then to sector 3, which takes you from turn 10 all the way through kind of the windy, slow sector of the track, or back to the start-finish straight. Got the very heavy braking zone of turn 10, great for overtakes, and the hairpin takes you up to 11. Tricky corner there because you've got the inside curb. Getting over that, you want to try and just get the right line through there. It can be tricky because the back end can be thrown out if you don't get it right. Turn 12, fairly easy, and then 13, 14, and 15. Again, getting the right line through there is important, especially 14 down to 15, downhill, over some big curbs, and you want to get set up nicely for a good exit and run through 16 to fire the car across the start-finish line and get in a good lap time here in qualifying. The first section zone then is before turn 9, and that runs down from 9 all the way down to 10. That's the first DRS zone. And then the second detection point is just between 15 and 16, and that runs, of course, down the length of the main straight, and you've got the speed trap there just before the end, so nice DRS distance and get the maximum speed out of the car across the speed trap. So, Adrian, what are your thoughts on this one, my friend?
Yeah, it's a track that's kind of grown on me in the last couple of years. Back in the day, I used to really hate it, and in fact, F1 17, I'd say I probably still hated it. But over time it's always been one I've loved to watch, but to drive has been a bit of an acquired taste that I have now acquired, I have to say. There's a couple of corners that really sort of stick out for me in terms of them being corners that are most likely to cause an incident, and that's turn 9, that fast uphill right-hander.
Yeah.
And turn 11, as you mentioned earlier on, you've got a little bit of a dip in the track around that area, just as you come off the hairpin, and it can catch you out if your car's not planted. Yeah,
you're touching on that middle sector, on that middle kind of complex of the track there. I think even 12, if you get that one a bit tricky or a bit wrong, the curb on the exit of 12 on the outside of the track is going to spin the car around, and you kind of hit the wall on the inside. So kind of 11 and 12 are both can be quite nasty, can't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to be tempted to accelerate a bit too early on the exit of 12. You've got to watch out, particularly early on in the races when you've got all that extra. You're carrying 110 kilos of fuel on board. It makes a big difference.
Absolutely, yeah, indeed. Any favourite sectors for you on this one?
Sector 1, I quite like. That turn 1, 2, and 3. If you get those really, if you do those really well, you can make up sort of so much time. You can really make or break your lap, actually. Just those first 3 corners.
Absolutely, yeah. Could not agree more, sir. So that completes our introduction, lap overview here of the circuit to Barcelona-Catalunya. If I could hand over to you, Adrian, to take us through our current runners and riders.
Yeah, absolutely, not a problem.
Thank you very much.
No worries. I'll run through them in the order that they're shown to me here. I know they're going to sort of jump around a little bit. I'll try and keep an eye on it. So we've got Basden Brian. He's racing with us, and his teammate Damien Hartman in the Alfa Romeos. So leading the constructors at the moment. They're both here. Nicky Visser, of course, has recently moved to Toro Rosso. He is here. His name's greyed out at the moment, but he is racing. He's just retired from this session because he's done enough to go through. And his teammate John Dunkel, who actually won here in season 5. He made quite a spectacular overtake, really, on eventual champion Damien Hartman, who was running on the softer tyres. John was on the, I think he was on the mediums, and he just breezed past him. I have to say, it's definitely worth a rewatch. So Sander Hermans and Boy Williamson. So Boy Williamson leading the championship. Sander Hermans in sixth. They're both here in the two Ferraris. Nishay Mahadra and Sildavit in the two McLarens. They're both racing tonight. Guido Urshan and his teammate Marcel Dronig in the two Red Bulls. They're both here. Paul Correa, we mentioned earlier on, and his teammate Miguel Torni. Hopefully they've got their setups nailed down. Mark Stappers and Peter Phillips in the two Renaults. They're both racing. Ari Kopp in the Lone Williams. And I think that's the lot, actually. Oh, and the new guy, of course, Barry Deepervein in the Haas. He has retired from this session because, as F1 tonight rules state, new drivers must perform what we call a back start in their debut Grand Prix. So he's not allowed to qualify in his debut Grand Prix. We'll see how he does from the back of the grid.
Indeed, yes, we will. And I will just apologise to viewers here quickly whilst we're trying to sort out the game audio. Not quite sure why that's not coming through. We'll work on that. Just while you were saying Barry Deepervein's name, I think this is one we're gonna butcher quite a few times in the race, but we'll get there.
The joys of doing the Dutch broadcast in English.
At least we're not having to learn Dutch to speak it all in Dutch.
It's very true. Although, to be honest, I've said these names so many times now in the 60 races I've now done. I think I'd probably pick it up quite quickly now. Notice Sildavit's actually retired from this session as well. Is that a back start, or is that a mistake? Not been notified of a back start for Sil, just of Barry. See if we get anything come over from sort of the race control, the admins.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that one. It's unfortunate because Sil's often a bit of a master in the quali, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, very much a qualifying specialist. Sort of it. Frequently on the front row.
Yeah. He'll be disappointed if he can't qualify tonight. It looks like he won't be able to at the moment.
So fastest time in the session then is 19.4. The pole time in the F1 Tonight UK race on Tuesday was a ridiculous, I think it was a 16.8.
Not bad going.
It was absolutely bananas. I think it was 0.8 faster than P2. That's just from memory. I have to have a look back at that one. But there was a substantial gap between first and second. Dylan Platt being the guy on top. Good. I was just about to say, it looked like the logo was still on the screen, but it's because I'm watching it 22 seconds behind what is actually happening. So
yeah, and also my mic was muted, so now we're back. I muted it whilst I was fiddling around with it because it was coming out quite loud. And there we go, Basden Brain then. Nicky versus Sander Herman, Tim Hadrison, Guido Urshan, Louis Williamson, Damien Hartman, Paul Quarret, John Doncourt, Mark Shabbers, P10.
I don't know if you noticed there, Dan. You probably probably more focused on the, getting all the names out than the actual times. There's only a 10th between first and third.
Wow. That's going to set, and they're obviously, of course, still through to hopefully keep whole fight. Keep these guys way through.
Yes, indeed.
Obviously, still starting.
Are you a fan of this track, Dan?
Yeah, I do like it. Again, I'm kind of same boat as you, really, where it's grown on me over sort of my time in the various incarnations of the racing game. But yeah, I didn't used to like it. I found all the sectors were pretty difficult. But again, like you say, Sector 1 a really good one to get the flow kind of together, and it gains so much time. Sector 2 is still my bugbear if any of them are. Just because, like I mentioned in the track overview, 7 and 8 for me are particularly difficult in terms of getting the power down at the right time without losing the back end. Other than that, I get on with the track quite well now.
Yeah, for me personally, if there's any corners that are very heavily reliant on the setup being comfortable, it's certainly turns 7 and 8.
Yeah, I think boy go through now. Is our man John Doncourt is going to be first across the line again, is he? I think he is. Boy, he's an eager beaver, isn't he, old John?
He certainly is.
He's always first to go out.
He just wants to get out there and put his lap down. He absolutely loves this track.
Oh, good. Well then, expecting good things. We've seen him be pretty strong in some qualifying sessions up until tonight, haven't we? So fingers crossed.
Yep.
He can pull something out of the bag tonight. He begins his hot lap here.
Only John and Paul Quarret in the Mercedes, both running the medium tyre. Everyone else on the softs here.
Let's get the fitted tyres up there. There you go. You can see that now on the screen.
There's about 8 tenths between the medium and the soft. There's only 5 tenths between the medium and the hard. So.
Okay. Sorry, what was the time between soft and medium?
8 tenths.
8 tenths. Okay. We'll see how John gets on.
Soft does tend to wear out quite quickly, or sort of more quickly than it does on other circuits here in Spain. So in the race, you can do somewhere between 15 and 18 laps on it, but the medium will do about double that distance.
Wow. Yeah, and of course, touching on the tyre wear there and being in the qualifying session here, of course, which determines strategy. What's your ideal strategy around here?
For me, it's definitely start on the softs and do as few laps as you can, and then just get onto the mediums, do 30 laps on those, and then mediums again for the final 30 laps. Okay then.
So I think we could probably assume the rest of the guys might be doing the same then. So I think it's Niche. No, sorry. No, yeah, it is Niche. He'll be next to cross the line and start his lap.
20.5 from Jonas, somewhat off his usual pace. He certainly won't be anywhere near the top at the end of this session with that time.
Ari going top though with a 150 point. Oh, sorry, a 150, a 120.1. Ari's in the rain at the moment. That's Brian 118.6.
And Damie as well, his teammate, just come over the line 19.7. Very much off his teammate's pace.
I would have thought Damie would have perhaps had an issue doing that then. Be that far back.
But as you said, the drivers will be starting the race on these tyres, so there is that element. They may deliberately be holding back a little bit in their hot lap to try and save the wear on the tyres.
Yeah, very true. 124.1 there from Paul Quarret. As Guido Urshan goes 119.4. And Nicky Visser also, wow, really close. Only 4,000 between those two there.
Yeah, both of those drivers, F1 tonight, Netherlands vets.
Very good stuff between those two then. Nisham Hadwin comes across the line. He does a 1:19.8. Goes P6. I think anyone might change their strategy based on these kind of first couple of laps.
Yes, certainly. I think we see an incident in the first sort of 5 or 6 laps. Yeah, drivers will immediately come in. They may opt for the hard tyre, but for me, the hard, even though it will go from about lap 5 to the end, if you're very careful with them, you'll be so far off the pace. I think you're actually better off. It's one of those weird situations. You're better off sticking to your plan A strategy if something does happen, because the soft medium strat, you can pit on lap 3 and do 33 on the or 30 on the mediums, and then 33 on the second set of mediums with the lower fuel.
Yeah, there's not many tracks where you can kind of get that kind of strategy, is there really?
No.
For a lot of them, you go straight to the hard if anything went wrong. So, if anything, it kind of makes it a bit more challenging, doesn't it? Really, they've only got that one option. They've got to stick to that plan. They can't really change it up too much.
That's quite right.
Just on board with Marcel droning as he comes round 15 and 16 now. To complete his, I think this is his out lap actually, so he'll be starting a lap now. Pretty close, isn't it? Those guys in the 119s really on each other's gearboxes at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like half of those are sandbagging at the moment, and half of those are probably near their ultimate pace.
Yeah. Marcel droning actually going purple potentially in the first sector. I'm not sure if that's a real one or not.
Who was that, sorry?
Marcel droning.
No, negative. He is 2/10 off of the true purple time in that sector.
Okay. That lap might have been invalidated, if not. Well done finding that little...
still valid.
Was that purple?
A negative again, half a second off.
Damn game.
It's a total of 3/4 of a second roughly off of the pole time so far, which is still quite a good time.
Yeah.
It's going to be P3 at this rate. Of course, it doesn't matter. He's only got to get into the top 10.
Indeed. Comes out the last corner then. Across the line. And a 1... Oh, I can't see it because I've got the delta to...
It was a 19.769.
I'd say, and that's a 1 second lap.
Again, look how close it is between those drivers.
Very close indeed. Another one to set a lap shortly will be Boy Williamson, although I think his lap's invalid. Struggling somewhere on the track is Boy, because I think he was on a hot lap earlier on in the session as well, and didn't set a time.
Yeah, it's invalid this lap actually.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where he's invalidating them. On board with Peter Phillip here as he... Oh, John Donkel's actually crashed out from the exit of turn 2.
Yep. I've done that many times actually. I should have added that to my list of bogey corners.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not on one exiting turn 2.
Yeah, so he won't be going through then to the Q3 shootout.
No, I think very gutted, won't he?
Yeah, yeah, big time. But it may actually benefit him.
Maybe, yeah.
This track's quite infamous for safety cars. We had 2 of them in the race on Tuesday.
How many VSCs?
One VSC? Yeah, I'm sure it was 1 VSC.
Peter Phillip comes across the line 1:20.5. Oh, so close to being in the top 10. He'll want to do another lap.
Boy Williamson on a hot lap now. He's nothing at all off of the fastest time in sector 1. Middle sector is 2/10 down. It's definitely going to be in the top 10, of course.
Yep, certainly will. See how he gets on. That'll be 14 and 15. Those giant curbs are a right pain in the bum. See how he gets on. P3, 119.2. Baz Brain absolutely loving this track then, that's for sure. 2 tenths up on the nearest challenger and 6 tenths up on Baz at the moment. There's a McLaren there, Newsham Huddleston going off on the adventurous route.
That's one very expensive lawnmower.
Yeah, it certainly is. Very effective either, really, is it?
Not really, no. Horses for causes, as they say.
Indeed.
Well, we got a purple sector from Nicky Visser in sector 1. He is nothing really up on anyone on the fastest time.
See how it gets on. It comes down to the seconds.
Oh, he's well off in the middle sector.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. In fact, he's backed right out.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
I think he was. I think that was kind of a bit of a bluff lap because he'd already set his time. What did it? Was he the one on mediums? No, he was not. So. No, he's gone out on a fresh set of softs. Set another lap for some reason. It didn't need to, of course. Only got to get through in the top 10, and that time was enough.
Yeah, the only driver to have set a best time on the medium so far is Paul Quarry in 12th. But everyone, of course, now on the soft tyre.
Ari Kopp's... No, not Ari Kopp. Who am I looking at? Somebody has just jumped into the top 10.
Well, I think Paul Quarry just did.
Ari Kopp out. He did, yes, that was it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
P4, very nice.
Yeah, Ari Kopp just went ahead of Peter Phillip, and then then Paul Quarry set a faster time again. So knocked Ari back out.
Poor old Ari. In, out. Take it all about. Nicky going, ooh, that's not what you want to do. Your hot lap. Don't have to worry, he's safely through here. Benny Hartman lining up another lap. Has Ari Kopp gone purple in sector 2 then?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Nope. No, 29.881 it was his sector 2 time. Fastest sector 2 is a 29.460.
Go on, Ari. Get back in the top 10, son.
It's an improved lap by some way. I think it's definitely in the top 10. No.
No!
No, that final sector was not his fastest. His fastest, faster than his own times in the first 2. But yeah, it must have been a big mistake there. He's 8 tenths off the fastest time, 3 tenths off of his own fastest.
Right.
So yeah, could have had a 19.6.
That's what you want. P8. Got time for one more lap though. If you go sit round now. I think Guido Ocean just jumps up to P5 there.
Spain's such a short track. You actually, it's one of the few tracks you can actually have 3 sort of quali runs in Q3.
Yeah, more often than not, it's 2, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and just for the viewers, by quali run, I mean you have time to do an out lap, a hot lap, and then an in lap, and that counts as 1 run, and then you can do it again, and then again.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. Nobody on fast laps at the moment.
No.
Damien Hartman just coming into the pit now. Ari Kopp doing the same.
No, Ari.
Yeah, that's it for him, unfortunately.
That's it for Ari.
So that is it then. That is those 4 drivers there, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Ari Kopp, Peter Phillip, John Donkel and Miguel Torni. They are not going through to Q3.
Out.
Yeah, biggest. Respect to all the drivers, of course, but the biggest surprise there, you could say, is John Donkel. But
yeah,
as I said, it may benefit him to allow the carnage to unfold ahead of him, and he can sort of capitalise in the mid and late portion of the race.
indeed. He'll be having his fingers crossed for maybe some turn 1 carnage there, just to let him pick up some free places.
It's like, oh, my hydro thing just went right
yeah,
off
just
on
just
turn
watching
9.
him now. Yeah, and he's favouring the gravel to the track at the moment. Oh, goes round again. I know we say it quite often in these live streams, but it does take such a long time to get the debris off the tyres.
Yes. Yeah.
You can almost take a lap just kind of teetering around, waiting for the tyres to rubber in again.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually somewhat counterproductive, because the slower you go, the longer it takes to get rid of that.
Indeed.
I've got some weather reports for you for the race. Heavy rain in the first portion, at least.
Oh, exciting.
Light rain in the middle. So I'm just trying to decipher this Dutch English.
Oh yes. Whilst you look at the weather report at the stream here, our Tuesday night commentator Eddie is tuning in, saying good luck all, have a good race. Thank you, Eddie. Find there the man behind all the brilliant Instagram posts. Hello, chaps. Good luck, everyone. Oh, and also Eddie's touched on the slight issue with Barry Deepervane's sort of Alton name, if you like, where it's B Die. It was only a matter of time, Eddie. Only a matter of time.
You'd think, wouldn't you? The oldest of the bunch would be the most mature, but not in this case.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. His vote, of course, we'll be talking about the pole man in Q3, but at the moment his vote for pole is Baz Den Brand.
Coincidentally, also my choice for pole position.
Oh, very good.
And yours, Dan?
Mine is Boy Williamson.
It's a good shout. He's leading the championship. He's already had a couple of poles so far.
Yeah, he's got some good form behind him at the moment. I think that's 2 wins on the bounce now, isn't it, with China and Azerbaijan? So he's on strong footing.
Yeah, absolutely. And last season it was his at the time teammate Nicky Visser, and eventual champion, who was winning all of these races. Did 5 in a row, Nicky, last season.
Yeah. It was a very good one. This is where it started, wasn't it, I think? Is that right?
It started in Bahrain, he won 5 from there. And then it was Hans Vanderberg who won in Monaco and broke his streak. Oh, so it's 4 in a row, 4 in a row.
It's not Dongle, but it is a Toro Rosso first round. This time it's Nicky Visser.
Number 75 there, just letting his former teammate, as I just said, Boy Williamson, past.
Indeed. He'll be first now to start his out lap, or hot lap, sorry. Getting a bit of gravel there on his rear tyres.
Don't want that.
No. All drivers now out on track.
I know they're about to start their hot laps, so I just want to just ask you, Dan, are you one to get out early on the in Q3, or do you sort of wait until the track's a bit more sort of rubbered in and then do your one-off hot lap?
Q3 now, I'll go out right away, because then I can get 2 runs in then, for guaranteed. I just shoot out. I normally do a pretty crappy first lap. Well, not awful, but I normally improve by around a second on my second lap if it is a not so good first one. It's almost like a little reconnaissance lap, hot lap if you like.
Yeah.
Just kind of feeling the track in. Going full pelt. And then, yeah. That way I'll get a guaranteed second run, of course, like you touched on earlier on. You get 3 runs anyway here, so I just find earlier the better for me.
Fair enough.
See how Boy gets on. He's, of course, first out for a hot lap here. That tricky braking zone to turn 10. So I find it so difficult there to, to brake at the right time without kind of running deep or braking too early.
Nicky Visser fastest in the first sector. Second is Boy Williamson.
Has he gone fastest in the second sector as well?
He has not, no. Baz Den Brien has in the middle.
Okay. So there goes Boy, 1:18.8. Now Nicky gets on, he's coming across to the line now.
Yeah, Nicky will beat that.
1:18.6.
And Baz will beat them both, I think. No.
Oh, splits them. 1:18.7, very nice. 18.6, 18.7, 18.8. Well done, boys.
Satisfies the OCD. Thank you.
Indeed. Thunder Herman there, 1:19.4. 4 at 1:19.5. 19.6 for droning. Then Hartman coming across the line now. 19.6, so a bit off the pace that I thought he would have been on. For Damie. I think Nietzsche got some more of that gravel on his lap, 1:40.
Yeah, his middle sector is at 10 full seconds off. I think something happened to him there.
Okay,
finally.
yeah. Guido, the only one yet to opt for a lap here. Probably doing what you discussed earlier on, waiting for the back to bed in.
He did come out. He set an invalid lap and decided to come straight back in the pit. So yeah, expecting to come back out. In fact, he did not complete that invalid lap. He just come straight back in.
Right.
Better first sector from Niche. I'm just saying is actually second fastest.
Definitely on another flyer here.
Middle is only 0.3 off the pole time, so potentially on for P4.
See what he can pull out the bag here. Bit sheepish through 14 and 15, but looks good. Exiting 16. Across the line. Nice, P4, very good. Michel Mahadwasing there, 0.6 off of the leader.
He'll be relieved with that lap. He was seeing him struggle in the first 2 qualifying sessions and the start of this one. So yeah, no, it's good to see him that he's got it sorted out, whatever the problem was.
Absolutely, yeah. The other guys with a setup issue that we have yet to see if they've sorted it out, the Mercedes, often looking pretty strong in qualifying, but let's see how Paul gets on with the race here.
Good first sector, 2/10 off of the fastest time, just 1/10 off in the middle. This is going to challenge Niche for that P4.
Indeed. Good when you see it's so close between so many drivers. See how Paul gets on it. Across the line P4, yeah, 1:19.1. Very good stuff. That's kind of the first.
Sorry, mate. Guido setting a lap now. He's set his third fastest first sector, which is there's literally nothing in it at all.
Very close indeed.
little bit wide at 9. Oh, it's a good middle sector. It's only 1/10 off of Nicky Vista.
This damn game keeps lying to me.
Yeah, well, it wasn't purple, but it was very good.
Good stuff.
He's looking at about a 19.0 at this pace.
Be clean there through 14 and 15. Unwinding the car through 16. Well, that Renault power across the line. 19.9, very swish. But now, you know, get back in the pit, mate. Got another lap to do, my friend. The kick-off now.
The track's just getting, you know, stickier and stickier, and it allows them to go faster and faster. Sander Hermans now on a hot lap. He's again very fast in the first sector, only a 10th off. See what it's like around 7 and 8.
That's Zander, sorry.
Yeah, Sander Hermans, yep. Tidy around 9. Oh, it's purple. It's purple in the middle.
That was purple. Very good. Over 11.
Got a difficult time to beat in the final sector, though. I don't think this is going to take pole.
Though. Bit wobbly through. Oh. So close. In all these guys.
Yeah, it's 3/10 off in the final sector, and he's obviously 3/10 off overall, and that's where it is. Nicky Vista's just got that final sector down to a T. Nobody is faster than him there.
Certainly not. Look at Marcel droning. Comes around turn 3. Got him as about a 100th of a second up at the moment.
Yeah, it's another good time. Everyone's setting 22.1s in that first sector. It's all that's pretty standard.
Good there through 7 and 8. Nice through 9, a bit wide on entry there, slowing down a bit. 500th of a second up now. Still improving.
Yeah, he's about half a second down on pole, so he's looking at a 19.1, probably at best here.
Very nice through the last couple of corners there. See what time we can gain through the very last one. Across the line. 19.2. Goes up to P8. Boys well coming round to start his hot lap. Final one of the session, most likely. Zander's had enough. He's staying in now, so that's where he'll be for the moment. It's P5.
We haven't really seen much from Damie Hartman, have we? Season 5 champion. He's not really shone here.
No, he struggled a bit, hasn't he? I mean, he looked quite off the pace in Q2 and hasn't really bounced back so well in Q3, has he?
No, not really. Although he is winding up for his final hot lap. He's getting a bit more energy in the battery.
Yeah, I mean, to give him the credit, he often. Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen a few sessions this season so far where he's kind of he's looked a bit further down the field at this qualifying session and then done a lap and just 1 minute he's P7, next minute he's P2.
That's right. Oh, speaking of P2, Basden Breen's just set a new purple middle sector, just coming around the final corner now, and it is an improvement in the first. This is certainly going to be pole.
Very good from Boy.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't pole. He was 4/10 down in the final sector on his own time. Wow.
He's not finished the final sector yet.
No, Basden Breen. Sorry, Basden Breen.
Oh. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought we were looking at Boy.
No, apologies.
Boy Williamson only just improves as well, so Nicky Vista looking.
And Boy's actually spun off turn 2.
Oh yes. there. I think Nicky's there.
So
Just
just backing off. Yeah, just backing off the track there. That's sensible.
Is Damie purple in too?
Negative, he's not.
Okay.
29.5. I don't think that's very far off.
So gets on through the final couple of corners here. Did see him as being about a tenth, 2/10 up after sector 2.
It's going to be under a 19.0. I think it's 18.8.
P3, very nice. Alfa Romeo 2-3. Guido has improved. Good challenge boy here for P4. Oh, very close.
Again, he was slower in the final sector, and that's where they're sort of losing time in the end of the session.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest sector I think to get hooked up properly is that final one. Boy, they're taking the old route. Much easier, wasn't it? the old couple of courses compared to how it is now with that chicane in there.
Boy, driving into the pit at the end of the session can of course pause and quit or pause and retire. But yeah, I do like to drive in even though you don't have to.
Yeah, I do as well. Adds to the immersion. Gives you time to practice crying and driving at the same time, normally. Harder than it sounds.
So we were both wrong there, Dan. Nicky Visser, pole position.
Indeed, yeah, everyone was wrong. So there we have it. As you said, Nicky Visser, pole position. Toro Rosso with a 1:18.6. Then P2, Baz Den Breyen. Damie Hartman's third. Boy Williamson, Guido Urshan, Zander Herman, Paul Corey, Marcel Droning, Nishay Mahadwasing, and Mark Stappers complete the top 10. Alfa Romeo once again looking pretty strong, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I mean, like I said earlier on, third and fourth in the championship, but leading the constructors, and they're second and third here. And I think they will be at least that come the end of the race. Reason for my little chuckle there, John, who gave me the weather in a sort of funny way earlier on, he's now translated it for me. He says heavy rain to light rain to dry to light rain.
Oh, okay. Did he give time periods for that?
Negative.
So we've got a potential dry period with more rain then. Cheeky. Could be an interesting race now then. Not a fun track in the wet, that's for sure. Too many quick corners. And too many corners where there's not much traction either. Only makes a hot lap tricky here. When the surface is moist.
You had to go there, didn't you?
I did, yes. The surface is dusty. Now it's moist.
Drivers do have a break between qualifying and the race. Used to be 3 minutes, is now 5 minutes. What it is in the UK league. I think they employ the same rules here.
Indeed. Time to get a drink, relax, maybe read a quick book.
Do I just give it one big Hazzah?
Hazzah. Just relax. Your money, huzzah!
A drink doesn't sound a bad idea, to be honest. It's it's not a long race. It's the same length as any other race, but 66 laps. Of course, it's a very short track, so they have to complete 305 kilometers on the track. Hence the number of laps.
Indeed, yeah. This is our shortest lap time so far this season, isn't it?
It is until the next race, I believe. I think Monaco is Monaco is certainly a short time. Yes, of course it is.
And then Austria will be the shortest, I think, isn't it?
Yes, correct. 103s, I think. Some of the guys doing quali in the UK league there.
I say. Well, this is our first. I think actually no, Melbourne is over 60 laps, isn't it?
58 off the top of my head.
I think this is our first 60+ race, isn't it?
Yes.
Then it only gets bigger because 71, isn't it, for Monaco?
78.
78?
Yep.
Ugh, well, we're only streaming till 71, I'm afraid, everybody.
Monaco's actually the only Grand Prix that doesn't comply with the 305-kilometre rule. It's 260 kilometres at Monaco.
Time, then,
otherwise, they'll be racing for about 3 hours. Otherwise,
yeah.
average speed there is about 100 miles an hour as opposed to 130 on other tracks.
That's horrible, really.
Oh, don't be like that, Dan.
Absolutely awful to drive. Great to watch. Just don't want to be sat in the car. We'll have the whole grid in here commentating with us because no one wants to drive it next week.
Oh, I know who will want to drive it, and that's Boy Williamson.
One of his favourites, is it?
Well, he's leading the championship, and I think he wants to stay that way. So I think, regardless of what everyone else decides to do, he'll be right. P1, Sebastian.
P1. Hey, but I think if he wins it tonight, and depending on where Nicky finishes, he could have a 25-point gap to P2.
Yes. And
can take a race off.
He will not be taking races off.
That would be a real show, like a display of confidence, isn't it? I'm not going to race next week, guys. I'm 25 points ahead.
Well, it's either confidence or nonchalance.
Yeah. Certainly one of the two. Something nice about watching rain fall, isn't there?
Better than watching paint dry.
It certainly is, yeah. I do like a rainy day.
Dan, who's your favourite for the winner of the race?
Favourite to win?
We touched on that yet?
No, we haven't. My favourite to win here this evening is Nicky Visser.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, John Donkel, I think he's going to do it.
Nice.
As I said, he did it in season 5. He loves the track. Don't know whether he loves it quite so much in the rain. He may do, but he may not. But I'm going to assume he does.
Will allow me to lock in driver of the day if he does win.
Was he starting P12 or 13?
Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
So here we have the drivers getting underway. Nicky Visser leads away. I would put his name tag up on the screen, but I'll just show you. There you go. He's still at Hass according to the name tag, but there he is anyway. Nicky Visser comes round turn 2 for Toro Rosso, leads the way. P1. Sebastian Brain in P2. Jamie Hartman is P3, the sister Alfa Romeo. Those two looking pretty strong in qualifying. Should be a good race for them. Boy Williamson be eager for that P1 again, I think, after 2 wins on the bounce. He's P4 for Ferrari. Guido Urshan also looking strong in qualifying, P5 for him. Sander Herman took his start but came back to a good P6. He'll be looking to get some more points on the board for Ferrari tonight. He starts P6. And it's Paul Quarret for Mercedes, P7, another good qualifying for him. Hopefully he's got the right setup on for it tonight. Marcel Droning, P8. Again, he's looking quick tonight as well. The two Red Bulls looking pretty good. See how they get on in the race. Nishay Mahad Singh. We'll find his name. There it is. He's P9. For McLaren. Oh, gets the back end lit up there. Don't want to spin out now, Nishay. Mark Stappers is P10 for Renault. Ari Kopp looked outside close to Q3, but starts 11th. Hopefully a good race for him. Peter Phillip.
Oh, my thing spun.
Oh, he did look a bit racy through exiting turn 10.
He's done a Montoya.
Yeah, he has, yeah. So Peter Phillip there is 12th. Don Donkel, 4 or so, 13th. Perhaps our race winner. We'll see. It'd be a bloody great job if he gets there. Miguel Torney, the other Mercedes again, looking to get a better setup on tonight. Comes around to turn 16. There he is. Then Barry Deepervein, our new boy in the Haas. I haven't got a name tag for him, I do apologise, Barry, but yeah, hello. And then Sildervit for the final runner here. Weirdly starting behind the new boy in the case, but...
just before they start, Peter Phillips the only one on wet tyres, everyone else on inters.
Interesting. See how they go. 5 lights lit up. And they're away. F1 tonight, Netherlands, round 5. Spanish Grand Prix. Oh, there's carnage at the back, because I think Berry's lost it, taken out John Donkel. Nicky Visser continues to lead the way. That's not a great start. No, sorry, Nicky Visser he's hit, apparently. I think that means...
no,
that
it's
was
John.
Baz Bryan. That was Baz Bryan that I think Nicky Visser has been hit by there. Baz Bryan P2. Boy Williamson's made up 1 place on Damien Hartman. Sander Herman also the same. Guido Urshan down 1. Marcel Droning stays where he started. Other guys winning pretty good well here are the 2 Renaults, aren't they? They're up P8 to P9, up 2 places and 3 places each.
Yep.
Not quite sure what happened down the back there though.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I was riding with Hazzah thing at the start, but yeah, something just happened behind them, and yeah, just said it looked like Deepervein and John Donkel collided. Donkel got no wing at all whatsoever. Ari Kopp's been involved in an incident as well. Sildervit looks okay, so it looks like those bottom 3 suffered damage.
I would have to make the assumption, based on the damage caused here, that John hit Berry. Berry's still got a front wing.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Again, starting in the wet here, having not driven the wet at all in qualifying is difficult.
Yeah.
And
can I just interject? Sildervit is really rapidly making up some places. Went on the inside of Miguel Torney at turn 9. Torney was very sort of tentative, as they all are in these horrible conditions, but looks like De Wit just had a bit more confidence.
Indeed, yeah. Sorry, we missed the overtake for the lead as well. Baz Bryan now leads the way from Nicky Visser. As a lot of guys hit diving into the pits, Nisha Mahousing and John Donkel being 2 of them. Ari Kopp and Barry Deepervein also in. Yeah, Sildervit looking pretty good, isn't he, at the moment? Up 5 places.
Yep, solid start from him. This rain, though, does seem to be getting extremely heavy. I'm surprised so many of them are starting on the intermediates. I mean, it may have been what Jeff suggested, by default, but if the heavy rain was coming on lap 2, you would have thought, probably better off starting on the wet tyres, just like Peter Phillips did.
Indeed, and I mean, he's not really losing too much time, is he?
No, he's not at all. He's very much staying with his teammate.
This could be very good for Peter then.
Yep.
This carries on. What's interesting that we did know heavy rain was the start of this.
Yep.
Of course, I think you said going to light and then dry and then light again, didn't you? So
yeah, that's right.
Perhaps that was the other guys thinking of starting on the inters.
Yeah, well, as I said, it would have started them on the inters by default because the heavy rain was not present at lap 1, but it is clearly present at lap 2.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll keep an eye on Peter then, and when these guys in front pit, if they do.
Peter's coming in. Sorry, Peter's coming in.
No, Peter, no! What are you doing, man?
Has he got damage? Or is he wondering, everyone else is on the inters, am I doing something wrong?
Please don't change tyres. Please don't change tyres. No! Don't do it! No!
Yeah, he's doing it. He's on the inters.
goodness sake! Oh well, that's really thing.
I
He'll be
mean,
leading the race, man. If they all pit in a minute, he'll be gutted.
yeah. I mean, he was really, really sticking with his teammate.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he was sliding around any more than anyone else was. Yeah, I think he'll come to rue that, unfortunately.
Sorry, we're missing all these passes here on Nicky Visser. Boy Williamson now also passed Toro Rosso driver up to P2. And Nicky not having a good time there, perhaps struggling on the inters with this heavier rain at the moment.
Yeah, it looks very sort of sluggish and slidey, Nicky.
Yeah. That's them rain, they're loving it. 2.2 seconds to Boy Williamson.
Baz is very much, you know, Reagan-Meister, as Michael Schumacher was known for being a master in the rain.
The high five in the pit crew, as the Alfa Romeos love to do. High five! I'm leading the race. See if Damie's doing the same. No, I don't think so. Sander Herman's next to line up the move. Tilda Vitt actually makes a pass there on Mark Stappers. The P8. Again, climbing up there. Oh, looks a bit apprehensive exiting turn 2, but keeps the place up. 8 places now in 4 laps. Certainly on a mission, Tilda Vitt. Oh, running wide there, no exiting, yeah, 4. Mark Stappers will be looking to get his nose in and try and pass back if he can. It's go time now for Zander Herman, because right behind him, Damie Hartman is only 6 tenths behind.
Just ahead of them, Nicky's actually purple in the middle sector now.
Okay, perhaps getting to grips with the not so grippy condition.
Hazzah!
Hazzah! Here all night.
Good middle sector from Damie as well. Actually, I think they're both finding their feet.
Indeed, yeah. 7. Maybe Peter made all got a yellow in sector 2. Is that for Berry, I think? I think he might have had a bit of an off there exiting at 8.
Yes. Yep, he was the only one in sector 2 at that time, actually.
Yeah. So Baz will be feeling the pressure here pretty soon from Boy Williamson. 1.6 seconds now, but Nicky is dropping off the back of them a little bit here. And Zander Herman now within a second as well.
Boy actually gained 4 tenths on the first sector alone on Baz. So
yeah, it feels pretty. Yeah, must be getting comfortable with the wet conditions now. Do you still think it's heavy rain?
It's difficult to tell at this moment.
Yeah.
It does look like light rain, to be fair.
Yeah, I was going to say, looks to be light as well. Maybe it was a good call then from Peter.
Yep. I'm sure that would probably have been sort of spurred on by Jeff in the
yeah.
yeah. Peter Phillip. What are you doing? Why are you on wets?
Yeah, we got a different strategy available.
Yeah.
Either that or he's asking for weather reports and thought it would be light rain.
Yeah, possibly. Or we don't have the data and he's just taking a chance.
Yeah, so wants to get helpful as he is.
Top 2 considerably faster than anyone else at the moment. More than half a second.
Yeah, you're seeing that in the laptop, or sorry, in the deltas, aren't you, at the moment? 2 seconds now, Nicky Visser to the top 2. Although he's now pulling away from Zander Herman behind.
Oh, P8 just gone, Sildavit just gone purple in the first sector. Only just faster than the race leader, Baz den Breen.
Sildavin on the case.
Mm-hmm. Good ERS management as well from young Still.
Yeah, there's something about the rain that makes it, there's a bit, sort of the pressure lifts a bit with the ERS management, doesn't it, I find?
Yeah.
Certainly still got to manage it, but it's just that tad bit easier when it's wet.
That's what I mean, because it all stems from the maximum traction possible in the wet conditions. So it doesn't kind of matter so much what mode you set that ERS up to. You could crank it right up, and you're still not actually going to do a very much faster lap, because your tyres just can't grip the road as much as they can in the drive.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can often go faster in the lower engine modes and lower ERS modes in the wet.
Sticking with Sill at the moment, because I think he's gaining on Marcel Droning here. Less than a second now to the Red Bull. Elsewhere on the track, everyone's sort of about a second or more apart. Often as it goes, after the first couple of laps, people start to get to grips with it all and sort of settle in for the race.
Sill was actually over a second faster than Droning on the previous lap as well.
Yeah, you've seen that delta come down quite quickly here, 6/10 now after the first sector.
Just while you're staying with this battle here, Boy Williamson just set purple first sector. He's really staying with Baz.
Yeah.
I know there's 2 second gap, but it's still just 2 seconds.
A difficult line there for Marcel Droning there through turn 10. That lets Sildavit back in on it all.
He's feeling the pressure, I think.
Yeah.
Is what that is. Been there many times myself.
Yellow sector 3, who's that? That's Mark Schappers has gone round.
Yep.
Again, we touched on that in the track overview there. Turn 11, so difficult on the better times, let alone when it's wet. Got the effects of that one.
I think Still should have this pass done. I think this lap, or if not on the start and finish of this lap.
Yeah.
Or maybe before that, actually. I think Marcel's going to make a mistake. Zander Herman's purple in the first sector. He's slowly catching Nicky Visser ahead.
Yeah. He's kind of been teetering around the that kind of 1 second zone for most of the race so far, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sildavit now 2/10 behind Droning in the Red Bull.
He's been patient. He's just waiting for the opportunity, waiting for Marcel to make that mistake, because he knows that just being there behind him is making Marcel take different lines and
yeah, here we go.
React differently.
Yeah, nice bit of patience there. We hope that all we need for Sil to do now is, like you said, with that patience, just keep that as well once you get past him, Sil. Don't put your foot down, which we saw a lot in Azerbaijan, and it just really messed him up.
bit of a ballerina still, a bit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, saw his first performance there in China. Absolutely beautiful routine.
Well, not a great exit from Sil. He probably would have wanted a slightly better one than that. Good one from Marcel.
Yeah, for the moment that keeps him safe. At the front though, Baz den Breen has opened up that gap again to 2.2 seconds from Boy Williamson. And Nicky also pulling away from Zander Herman too. Kind of a bit of an accordion going on here with these guys at the front, in and out, in and out.
Yeah. And that comes from using and saving the ERS modes, of course.
Another guy actually looking to make a move soon. is Miguel Torni in the Mercedes. Oh, well, he was looking to make a move, and now he's kind of had a bit of an issue there through turn 2, and is right off the back of Peter Phillip. But he was within a tenth of a second down the main straight.
I wonder if he's anything like me, he'd have probably sort of spooked himself by by being so close to a car in front, and yeah, especially round 1 and 2. Yeah, absolutely hate it being in that position. It caused a couple of spins for me on Tuesday.
Vex yourself to make it, and you puts you off doing it.
Yep. Oh, this could be it for Still. I think he's going to certainly make the move here.
I'm still getting a slightly stronger drive there through 16, but here you go. Still reeling him in now.
Well, it's going to be risky.
He's going to have him. Very nice.
Joining didn't defend that at all, really.
No, sort of left the door open there, but I think Still had to have the move made really before that turn. I think it's fair to say Still could I think could taste that one for a little while.
Lovely throwback.
Indeed, yeah. I wonder if he can actually if he can taste the podium.
He definitely can.
He definitely can. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him up there, to be honest. He's a great pace at the moment. 10 laps, 9 places gained, almost a pace a lap at the moment. Next up is Guido Urshan and Mr. Red Bull. Closing in on Nishay Mahadwar as Nishay loses that back end again through 4. Keeps the car under control though.
Nishay's not having a good time today, it would seem.
No, the car's looked quite sort of rear end happy, hasn't it, through qualifying and the race so far.
Yep.
Regardless of dry or wet conditions.
Spain's one of those tracks that is so heavily reliant on a good setup to keep the car on the track, and then the rain just adds that, just multiplies that.
Yeah.
Still Devitt 3-second penalty. He's the first driver to receive a penalty so far.
It's only a matter of time really. Or did he get that through turn 1 or 2?
Yeah, turn 1.
Apart from turn 1, there aren't. I mean, actually, I was going to say 14 and 15 as well, that little chicane. But apart from that, there aren't that many places here where you can really cut the corner, is there?
No, there's not. You can get one at 7 and 8.
Yeah,
if you're too close on the inside. But yeah, other than that, turn 9, you sometimes.
Sorry. Sorry.
The Guido's gone off. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, the Guido's gone off as well. I was just looking at Don Donkel there getting the pass on Nishay. I didn't see Guido go. Where was that for exiting turn 9?
Yeah, exit of 9, which is actually the same place he went off in the testing session where we tested very deep in Vane. Yeah, Guido went very wide at 9 there, and he's done the same here.
Yeah. Yeah, not enjoying that part of the track then is Guido. Looking at the YouTube comments quickly, Ryan Lears said in asterisks rubs hands while looking at the weather reports. Yeah, I think we were as well, Ryan. Bit of rain always bodes well for a good race.
Oh, particularly here.
Yeah, especially when there's a bit of fire in it as well at the end. Him?
you know what circuit has the highest chance of rain?
Highest chance of rain. What, on the current calendar?
Yep. Well, on the 2019 calendar.
Okay. Highest chance of rain. Japan?
No.
Canada?
Japan. Nope.
Well then, it's got to be Singapore.
It's Hungary, followed by Japan.
Ah, I'll take second place. Don't know why I said Singapore. It's barely ever rained there.
It's Hungary, Japan, and then Brazil. I think off the top of my head.
Right.
I have to check the records for that.
Hungary actually. Did that come? I saw it. I think I was on board with Marcel Journey and completely missed him overtake Guido. I do apologise about that, but yeah, Marcel through P7. And where did Sildervik get up to P6 from?
He passed Guido.
Oh, and then passed Marcel, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. He passed Marcel on
Guido
track, and then Guido went off.
Right. We're all caught up. Very good.
Have you been watching this race? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching with my eyes closed, apparently.
Marcel just set his personal best lap, actually, that previous lap. Now that he's got, he hasn't got a McLaren sort of right behind him, he's able to sort of focus again. So yeah, he just completely cuts the hairpin.
Front end still kind of running around here. The guys keep that 2 seconds, although 3 seconds now. Nicky Visser from Boy Williamson. Sander Herman's still kind of hovering around that 3 second zone as well. They're just seeing Sander Herman's their lap very deep of vein from the Haas. Struggling a bit in these conditions, I think, is Berry.
Yeah, it does look like it. Right from the sort of starting grid, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what actually happened there. I mean, what you could tell by the evidence, looked like John had hit him, but we'll find out, I would have thought. The initial clips. It looks to be, the rain has stopped.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
This match what we were told? Was it dry this early on? I guess we didn't get time, did we? So we don't know. So it could be quite a long dry spell, yeah. But it was definitely like rain to end, was it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Okay.
John Donkel looks like he's going to make the move soon on Miguel Torni. Oh, and we've got yellows in too.
That is...
I think that was Stappers.
Miguel Torni gets around the outside of John. Or
Well,
defends from John.
This track's bone dry now. And look, there we go, drivers in the pits already now. Nicky Visser, Damien Hartman, Sildervik.
Interesting call there from Van Bray, Boy Williams and Sander Herman all stayed out.
Yeah, both Red Bulls stayed out. So they're either going to have to double stack or one of them's going to have to do 2 laps on this dry track with intermediate tyres.
Yeah, I mean, look how quickly it's dried up.
That is ridiculous.
It must be hot out there. Well, saying that though, Nicky looks a bit cheapish there coming out on the medium tyre. He'll be opting for the 2 stop on the medium now, won't he? Or the 1 more stop. 2 stints here on the medium. Maybe medium to soft.
Well, yeah. Well, it's going to depend when the next lot of rain comes as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the drivers are told that information at this point.
So what do you think? I mean, if they knew the rain was going to come, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 laps before the end, would you still go medium or would you just go for hard?
No, I'd probably chance the hard tyres.
Yeah.
Play it safe. But that's me, and my pace is not great. Some of the others may have, you may go for the medium, and you know, and if the rain doesn't come, then you just manage the tyres for the last sort of 5 laps or so, and just try to do your little rain dance in the car and make it come. Top 3 in the pit as well now.
Indeed, I'm just looking at Nicky. He's being held up by the Red Bull. Baz is in the pit for quite a long time here. He's lost out to Boy Williamson. Did Damien come in before Baz, or is that just a really slow stop? Or maybe he had a penalty to serve. Oh, this is really close. So Nicky comes out right behind Baz here, Baz Dembrain in the Alfa Romeo, and not much further up the road is Boy Williamson. So certainly a good move to come in earlier for Nicky.
Yep. Son Herman's lost out with that double stack. Yeah, he's significantly further back from his teammate now.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's one of the penalties you get ready for double stacking if you can't, or if you come in so close together at least.
Nicky is absolutely flying on this lap, that first sector.
Well, it's safe to say he certainly prefers the dry conditions over. You can just judge by qualifying. You can tell that. See how his pace looks here after a full complete lap on the dries for everybody. Dongle still on the back of Miguel Torney. Yeah, making a move for P12 now.
I don't know if you mentioned it already. It looked like the Red Bulls did double stack.
Yeah, I think you said so. Yeah, I mentioned that Guido sort of lost out a bit there to that. Oh no, not too much. So Nicky now within a second. Finally got it within a second of the car in front. Looking to make a move here. Pretty shortly.
Clearly running a dedicated dry setup on that car.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if the others are running sort of a hybrid, knowing it was going to rain.
Yeah, more than likely. Again, he's really... The track is just getting greener and greener and greener by the... Not even by the lap, but by the sector.
Absolutely, yeah. You can see that as evidenced by half a second now. With Nicky Bishop behind Baz Dembrain in the Alfa Romeo. I think he can taste the win!
Come on, Dan, once is enough.
I just like doing that noise. Right, I won't do any more now till America.
For anyone who's interested, that originated last season at Belgium. Eddie on commentary with Dan.
Yeah.
I was speaking about Jake Sorrell in the UK Grand Prix.
Yeah, maybe you can taste the champagne. I don't believe he did taste anything that race actually in the end.
Miguel Torney fastest in the first sector, running peak 13 at the moment.
Spicy. Harry Coppo not far behind. Sildavit goes purple. Nice lap there on 127.
Worth noting.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dan. It's just worth noting Sildavit is one of only 2 drivers who are currently under-fueled for the remainder of the race. So they have to do a bit of fuel management. The other one being Miguel Torney.
Yeah, again, mate, helps those quick getaways.
Peter Phillips fastest lap, 26.5.
Nice one. Very nice from Peter there.
Get the feeling he's been itching for it to be, dry. My 100 thing as well now, 26.4.
Faster and faster here.
Oh, Tawny almost lost it out of 2. And there we go, drivers are setting purples all over the place now.
Yeah. Bit though, 124.8 now. Gonna get quicker.
And still plenty of ERS as well, despite just setting the fastest
Yeah,
rates.
I mean he's well and truly primed here for a good result tonight.
Yep.
And looking quick, not far off P5.
Nicky putting Baz under all sorts of pressure for P2. So,
yeah, and it's sustained,
3, 7,
isn't it? He's been 6 tenths behind him now for 3-4 laps.
I mean, it's not something that Baz is not used to.
No.
Frequently has drivers sort of right behind him. They don't tend to phase him in any way.
I mean, I think we saw an example of that last time out in Azerbaijan. I think someone was following him and they actually ended up making a mistake, not Baz. So, yeah, like you say, a hard nut to crack.
Yes.
And yeah, you've seen Nicky now start to fall off the back of Baz a bit here, 1.1 seconds.
That final corner, or final couple of corners, so important to get right.
Yeah.
Because it's such a long straight afterwards. Just let Mahadra sing there in the. Oh dear, Nicky, blimey.
Close. Come on, Nicky, head of the game, son. So you can do it.
Lost concentration there a little bit just when he did lap Niche, combined with the dirty air of the car in front as well, just on the approach of turn 1. Just threw him out a little bit.
Graham. Maybe not. Who knows? You still get the white flashy lights on the wheel if you get a penalty?
Oh, that's a good question. Very good question. I don't think you do. I don't think you
used to, didn't you? Like in the sort of the early 2010s games, you used to get one, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, it's quite handy actually if you're watching a car anyway, you could tell. So, Brian now poised. DRS assistance. Now to turn 1, reeling in Boyd Williamson. Won't happen yet, but it's not far off. Nicky Vesta just dropping right off the back of these guys at the front now. What happened is, I don't know. Got no answer for that one.
I think it's. I think in this instance, it's a case of Nicky applying pressure to himself to close up that gap as quickly as possible and get the overtake done. Unfortunately for him, the advantage is very much with Baz, not only because he is so great at defending his position, but he's also got the added advantage of another car ahead of him pulling him along with not just slipstream but DRS as well.
Yeah, that's it. Oh God, see Nicky grab a bit of the curb there on the exit of turn 9.
Taking a few risks, Nicky.
Easy boy, settle down.
Purple's in 2 for Sildevit. He is just got some phenomenal pace, I have to say, right now. And again, with the ERS management, he's driving very, very quickly and not using the battery unnecessarily.
Yeah, he's certainly driving a very good race at the moment.
Exactly what he needs to do.
Baz Dembray now right on the gearbox with Boyd Williamson. Could be a move here pretty soon. I think every corner now, Baz is eyeing up something. Anything you can get. Oh! Oh! Come on, boys! Cracking stuff from these two at the moment.
I wouldn't like to have Baz right behind me like that.
Especially because he's looking at every single every single corner now is an opportunity for him at the moment.
Yep.
That's the worst kind of thing, because it can throw you off having a car darting around in your mirrors, and you think they're going to try and make a move, you defend, and it throws off your corner.
I have to credit to Boy though, he does do very, very well under such immense pressure.
Absolutely, especially because he's harvesting RS right now.
Yeah.
As is still in EOS mode 4. So yeah, you got to say, like you say, Boy's certainly remaining pretty cool at the moment. He needs to harvest it ready for this main straight. He's going to come under a lot of fire from Baz.
Well, Baz doesn't have much in the battery to fight him here.
No.
He'll only be able to get alongside at best.
See what he does. Yeah, like you say, he gets close. But no cigar at the moment.
It's good stuff from Boy. He's really sort of giving the fight back to Baz. He's making it difficult for him.
Yeah, and Baz now really got a bit of a mission on his hands to regain some of that ERS energy.
Reflecting the pressure is, I suppose, what I was trying to say.
Indeed, yeah, he's got a big mirror on the back of his car, shining it all back.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Sil de Wit is past Damie.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And apologies to Sil for missing that one.
Yeah, sorry, Sil. Well done, mate. I was going to say, if he can get to the back of Sander Herman, he'll be laughing, because after that, it's just onto the kind of podium places then. Not far off.
Still purple in the first sector as well. I think this is going to be... it's not purple, but it's not far off. He's setting consistent 23.60s. He's done that for about the last... Well, since it stopped raining. I think the fastest lap of the race is a 23.4.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not setting world record pace laps, but he's doing very fast laps, and lots of them.
Yeah, certainly really on the ball. Right. There you go, 123.3.
Yep. And that wasn't even his best second or third.
No. I wonder what Jeff's saying to him. Let's not go trying to break records.
Or just caught the curb on the inside of turn 2 there. Can often just really unsettle the car, swing your back end out. He managed to hold on.
Yeah. Like that around this track.
There are.
Turn 2 though, like you say, especially a bit of a bastard. Vista though starting to kind of claw back some of that time now as someone goes off in front of them. I think at that marker, Miguel Torney, yeah. This could be a bit of a spanner in the works for Nicky.
Oh, yeah, and Torney on the racing line as well. He doesn't want to get involved with Nicky Vista.
Didn't lose too much time. Maybe a 10th. Look like.
Yeah, no, I'm done there. Just a little bit of poor communication. But Dumbreen is really, he's almost touching the gearbox. I'm sure he almost like hooked on the little toe.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
An actual toe bar.
Go then, this could be the move.
I think Baz has had enough.
Yeah, go on, get lost. Well, they make a bit of contact there, side pod to side pod.
Room given.
Oh, I think Williamson there struggled a bit. Inside turn 3.
Yeah.
Nice pass though. Alonso-esque there on the outside for Bryan.
Coupled with, I think it was for Boy, it was coupled with the dirty air. It just drifted him wide.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's really, really difficult to hang on there.
Letting Nicky Vista back into this now. 1.1 seconds. The Boy. See if he can keep with them. Miguel Torney really struggling at the moment. Actually, gone off there round through 8. Not having much fun. Paul Quarry certainly looks more happy though, doesn't he, with the setup tonight than he has in recent races.
Yep, definitely.
Was nice to see.
Oh, Nisha Mahadra Singh is off the track. Just dropped from, I think it was 13 to 15. That was turn 12?
10, 11, yeah, 12 or 11. Yeah, one of the drivers not having such a fun night.
Sorry.
Oh boy,
Boy nearly made the overtake, and well, he actually passed him in turn 1, and Baz got the position back in 2.
Cracking stuff. Nicky Visser though, again dropped off the back of those guys. Can't seem to stick with them at the moment. Struggling a bit there to maintain the pressure.
He's catching up when they're battling each other, but then he's losing time again once one gets ahead, and then the other can slipstream off the back.
Well, they've got a bit of traffic coming up here, which could be perfect for that third sector. That could really bunch them up. Sorry, Cop. See how they get on passing him.
Damie. Boy, a little wobbly out of the hairpin.
Yeah. Saw that on the stream as well.
Oh, really deep there into turn 13.
That Boy, was it?
Yep.
And then Brain gets past Cop. That's really just released him now from Boy Boomson after that. Difficult third sector for him there.
What Boy's got to do is just maintain his focus. Don't necessarily worry too much about Baz being ahead of him at this point. If he can just set solid laps, doesn't necessarily have to make the overtake in this stint. We're not even halfway through the race yet.
No. Yeah, and then rain coming later on, who knows when. Before Nisha Mahad was there make the pass on Miguel Tawney, P14.
Just want to make note too. Everybody's gone for the medium tyres when the rain did stop, with the exception of Ari Kopp and the new guy Barry Deepenbane.
Indeed, yeah. Interesting choice when there's probably. I mean, I don't really see much point in going for the soft tyre at that stage.
No, I mean they're only going to do about another 7 or 8 laps, sort of at the most. I don't think the rain's coming then, unless they know something we don't.
Maybe. They're in the car, we're not, so who knows what's going on. Baz doing the old Alfa Romeo high five again. Let's see how Damie gets on as well here. Oh no high fives for him. I think it's only P1 gets high fives in the Alfa Romeo garage.
I think that's how it works, yeah. Oh, Sil just got some really bad snap oversteer on turn 1. He went over the curb, and it sort of threw him out wide. He held onto it again in typical De Vit fashion.
Indeed. Still the grip, we call him.
There must be hundreds of puns we can use with his name.
Indeed.
He's the gift that keeps on giving.
Indeed, yeah. Dipping into gripping, the Still the Bit story. Oh dear. He's got about 5 books come out now, according to me.
He has. Links in the description.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. On Audible. But the second now, Susanna Herman. Really reading him in. Messi's got it. Though doing okay with the RS, isn't he? So he can put up a bit of a fight here.
Yeah. Boy's now within the DRS of Den Brain. He's back within half a second, well, just over half a second.
Yep. Yeah, get on board with Boy here.
What he wants to avoid doing though, he's just getting caught up in this battle for too long, because it will wreck his tyres, and that's especially going to hurt more if the rain doesn't come till sort of later on in the race, because the driver ahead will typically have better wear rates or lower wear rates than the one trying to attack.
Yeah, certainly will. Again, only they can know when the rain's coming.
And bright sunshine at the moment. It can't really get much more ideal track conditions at the moment.
Yeah, a bit cloudy, but yeah, like you say, pretty nice weather out there at the moment.
It's still a bit.
Now, yeah, just gonna touch on still, yeah. Getting that DRS. A second now. It's purple. Hey, nice.
Yeah, and you have to argue he's not actually sort of pushing that car too hard, despite setting fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty composed, doesn't he, at the moment? Doesn't look like a man that's kind of really throwing that car around. He's just kind of, you know, just go. It's almost Jensen Button-esque, isn't it? Just really smooth on the controls. Yeah, looks very nice at the moment.
Basden, Brian and Sander Hermans running 1 and 4, just set the exact same lap times that lap.
Very good.
23.308.
I don't know if you're seeing this as well, Adrian, but I'm seeing Nicky Buss's car jumping all over the place quite a lot of the time when he goes over a curb. I don't know if his suspension's a bit too hard or something, but not a lag jump, but he's actually just bouncing off the curb.
Physical.
Yeah. Now I saw that at exiting 9, his car kind of just lifts up off the ground. If you actually ride on board with him, you'll hear it. His car over revs when he gets on the curb, because obviously the tyres lift off. He's just spinning around in the air.
That's interesting. Yeah, it could purely be the suspension set a bit too hard.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say certainly something in the race trim isn't working as well as it did in the qualifying.
I'll be honest, we did have a little discussion about setup sort of earlier today.
Yeah. And did he give him some really poor tips? Is that why you're struggling, Adrian?
That's what I'm trying to allude to, yeah. It's all my fault, alright?
It's all your fault. It's all a big scheme, isn't it?
Or unless he's opted not to use my setup and use his own instead.
Right.
Which is what I'm hoping has happened.
Okay. Boy, Williams are getting a bit wide there through 9. Gap spreading out. I quite like the back straight between 9 and 10. It's almost like a break between all the horrible corners.
You really don't like this track, do you?
No, I do like it. I find a lot of it tricky. No, I don't find it tricky. I can happily drive round it. It's just there's a lot of corners that want to kill you.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the one. I think Still will probably get the move done here. That's actually a really good exit out of the final corner. That last lap though was an invalid lap. I think he
got a penalty.
It didn't come up. It didn't come up that he had a penalty. No, and you are allowed a warning. And it still be a valid lap. So I wonder if he got a second one. Yeah, that dirty. Yeah, it's really it just makes the car drift out so wide at 3.
Yeah, it's a corner where you really need the grip more than any others. And he gets wide there through 4. Yeah,
4 as well. Relies so heavily on the downforce. 9's another one that does need that downforce. So
yeah.
We'll see how he handles it. A little bit further away now. Although that you can tell
a bit late there.
He had to really come off. Really lift it off.
I find the turn-in point for turn 9 is so crucial to get that corner right.
Yeah.
You leave it too late, you can just go wide regardless of who's in front. One thing I'm definitely noticing with Sil's driving style though compared to later recent races is that he certainly seems more composed in terms of if he makes a little error, you can't visibly see a reaction.
Yeah.
Which we've seen in recent races where he makes an error or he overtakes somebody and then immediately he's all over the place trying to push or make up for a lost time.
I will come back to that, but Boy Williamson's just passed Denbrian at turn 1.
Very good. Apologies for missing that one. Finally, Boy makes it past. Now we'll see how well, like you said earlier, how well his tyres have held up after that. We are now exactly halfway through this race. F1 tonight, Netherlands. Season 7, round 5. The Spanish Grand Prix. Lap 33 of 66. Boy Williamson leads the way for Ferrari. Not even a good battle for the lead so far. In these two here, that's Denbrian and Boy Williamson. Boy looks a bit slippery there, exiting turn 15.
Yeah, just a little bit. Tyres are 18 laps old. I mean, you know, they can do 30. They'll be at about 60% wear by the time they've done that.
Yeah.
Which isn't ideal.
No, there's a Toro also gone round. Who's that?
That was John Donkel. John Donkel spun at 2.
Virtual safety car deployed. Got the car underway again, which is good. Got his teammate as well, right up his bum.
Oh, big old Tawny drives through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. I absolutely hate that one.
Yeah, it's not what you want.
What you're better off doing when the virtual safety car appears, just lift off immediately. Get that delta sort of right up.
Yeah.
So that you've got quite a lot of time to a bit of a cushion to sort of play with. Yeah, because if you approach a corner, that's where I find that I'm most likely to receive that penalty is on the entry to a corner. Yeah, that delta drops so rapidly. You might not think you're actually doing that corner very quickly, but in actual fact you are, and that's where the delta disappears, and that's why it gives you the penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
You might think, well, I was half a second over the delta. I should have been all right. Yeah, that was on the straight. But as soon as you come into that bend, it just drops.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not one of my favourite options for controlling the field. I'd rather just a full safety car, to be honest.
Yeah.
Certainly feel like I lose less time.
Or maybe even, I know this is not sort of Formula 1 related, but in Gran Turismo they have like a funny penalty system where if you do commit an offence, your car just slows down for a few seconds, sort of on track, and that's one way of dealing out penalties. But obviously that's not what we're about. We are F1 tonight, and we race as close to the sort of real thing as we can, try and keep it authentic.
Indeed. Yeah, it's almost I don't know if it's changed since I last played it, but it tells you the time penalty you're receiving, doesn't it? And if you slow down, you can reduce it.
Yeah.
Or you can just keep going and receive it. Which is, it's quite a nice system.
Well, both drivers there, Boy Williamson and Denbrian, just a little bit sliding around the final corner. Yeah. Having said that, that was a purple sector from Baz.
Oh, right.
in that final one.
Bit of a dust on the tyres there as he comes through turn 1.
The track is dusty.
Indeed, the track is dusty. And they're all trying to get there.
Purple final sector from Damie Hartman in P6.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Damien, have we, really, this race so far?
No.
Sort of been P6, and that's it, really.
And there's actually a massive gap behind him.
Yeah.
Sort of top 6. So what's the gap between 6th and 1st? That is 15.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the next one is 57 seconds behind the leader. So very much like a real Formula One race.
Yeah, the top six,
top six, and then the rest.
Yeah. Formula 1.5 well and truly in effect here. All Corey looking for the win. Miguel Tawny though really not having a good race.
Oh, he's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane while serving his penalty for speeding under the safety car.
Yeah, that's the real speed demon, Miguel Tawny.
Guido Urshan was purple in the middle sector on that previous lap. Oh, but Boy Williamson fast lap overall. And he had no purple sectors, Boy, but that fastest lap.
Yeah, very nice. Actually, now finally with that being going outside of 1 second now from Baz Brown. Oh no, now it's 8/10 again. Baz reeling him in again.
I don't know how these drivers handle that sort of pressure for so long. To go, you know, an hour and a half with a driver, a very fast driver.
Yeah.
Right behind you for all that time. Yeah, I don't know how their feet cope with the cramp.
I think it's not so much pressure at this point, because I think it certainly is pressure when you've got a guy closing and closing and closing, and then they get right up on your gearbox and they kind of make a move. But then once you know, if it's been sustained at 8/10 for 10 or so laps, I feel like that pressure kind of disappears and you realise, right, they're just behind me now. They're not really getting any closer. They're not going any further away. They're just driving the same pace as me.
It's kind of it's kind of like an unspoken truce between the drivers.
Yeah, it's always like, okay,
stalemate.
I'm going to just stay here behind you. Vice versa, you know. So I think it's a different kind of pressure to when someone's really hounding you, trying to pass you, and someone just.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Dan, Still's in the pit. Sildavit is in the pit after 23 laps on the mediums.
Pit, come in. Another set of mediums.
Yeah.
That's a fairly early stop, isn't it? What's that, 20 laps he had on those?
Yeah, 23, I think.
Right, okay.
22. It is an early stop. These tyres can effectively go to the end of this race. What's that? 28 laps of the race to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a safe bet.
Certainly is.
Now it doesn't matter when the rain comes.
And the beautiful thing is as well about obviously the gap they have to the guys behind. He's only lost one place out of this.
Yep.
Really nothing to lose. Annoyingly though, because there's rain coming, not much to gain from it. What the other guys do.
I don't want to jinx anything by saying this. I'm going to say it anyway. But this is the first time this season we've gone over half the race without a DNF.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, all runners still riding here. Zander Herman is making a move on Nicky Visser. Down the main straight, takes P3 from the Toro Rosso, but he fights back. Does Nicky? Oh, got right up the inside there. I thought there could be some contact, but just holds P4. Accepts the pace is gone.
Good move from Sander there. That's,
yeah, it's
brave, confident.
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of been a bit of a dark horse Zander Herman in this race. Haven't really seen much from him, and then all of a sudden just makes the overtake.
I've often referred back to one of Sander's earlier races just at the end of season 4. When it was at Abu Dhabi, actually, he was behind Basden Breen. I think they were riding in P3 and P4, and the long back straight, he was sort of right up on the inside of him, but then kind of conceded or didn't go for the overtake, and he did that for sort of 7 or 8 laps in a row.
Yeah.
Because he just wasn't brave enough to take it on. And bearing in mind it was Denbrian, as Nicky Visser just comes into the pit now. So he's surely going on to the mediums again.
He's retired at the pits there, I think. Yeah, how Sil gets on it, because he's not that far behind Nicky. As he pits, he's not stopped yet, and Sil is coming around the very final corner. I think Sil could have him here.
Nicky's on the softs. Nicky's on the soft tyre.
So is Nicky anticipating the rain then, do you think?
Yeah. So now he
Sil
needs
DeVitt, though, is sorry Adrian, Sil DeVitt's beating him.
He has, yep. Well, he was ahead of him anyway on track, was he not? He was P5. He lost 1 place.
I thought Nicky was P3 the whole time, wasn't he?
Oh no, yeah, sorry, yeah, he lost it to Damie, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Good,
apologies, yeah.
Good in lap for sure. Bill. Yeah, maybe he's opting for. Maybe he thinks the rain's going to come the next 10-15 laps and is hoping just to make up places in that time.
Yeah, I mean, if it does come, then that'd be absolutely fantastic for him. But now he needs it to come.
Yeah.
Whereas Sil doesn't need it, or it doesn't matter whether it rains or doesn't.
Yeah.
In Sil's case.
Absolutely. Yeah, certainly Sil's got less to lose, although he is sliding all over the place now. Coming through 11 and 12.
Well, like I've often said, if you do the same thing as the other drivers around you, then the only way you're going to pass them is on track. Sorry,
Yeah,
what was that?
yeah. Sorry, no. Just
What was that noise?
squeaky bum moment there as a boy looked to make a move for P1 off Baz then Brian. I think Baz must have passed him just a minute ago. I keep missing the overtake for the lead. But,
So, well, I mean, we could just stick with these two for the entire race, but I think that's the wrong thing to do.
That'd be a bit boring.
Myself, that would be, yeah. We don't want to do that.
They are certainly driving very well here. It's certainly good to watch, but everyone needs their time on camera, and these guys have certainly had plenty of it. Although we do keep missing the points where they have the most exciting moments, so apologies for that. But yeah, Baz now leads the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll stick with Baz and Boy, and yeah, you can control the rest of the broadcast.
I'll filter around the rest of it, yeah. He's certainly not closing up as quick as I thought he would.
Sorry, Boy is going to make the move into one.
Hey, we caught it! Oh, easy does it, boys.
Oh no, something came off there, definitely.
Oh, end plate on
Baz. Yep.
Right, end plate. Not end of the world stuff, but it's certainly not good for him. See how much that affects him.
Fortunately for Baz, he would have been coming into the pit soon anyway, but he's going to lose 5 or so seconds in the pit while they put on the new wing.
And what is a pit stop time round here?
It's about 20 seconds.
Yeah, so Sil's not quite in this to take podiums yet, but he's certainly not far off. Could just do a 1:22.2 that last lap.
Oh, Paul
Quarry's gone.
Paul Quarry's
Where have we
retired.
lost him?
He's crashed in the pit lane. There's debris everywhere on that pit entrance.
Well, that is the certainly unfortunate there for Paul. Looking pretty good after last week's race for him, and then trouble in the pit lane. Certainly good a time to pit now as any. Oh yeah, there it is, yeah. Oh wow, bits of wing everywhere.
Debris in the pit now. Boyd's still out.
Yeah,
Damien Hartman in the pit,
so
they're double stacking the Alfa Romeos, that shouldn't be a problem.
Could call him Debrian.
Well, I'll leave that one to you.
Thanks very much. Oh, almost back from down at Alfa Romeo. A little bit low. P4 now. Okay, 12 places. P16 where he started his race from.
Yep.
Mighty fine drive so far from the McLaren driver. Oh, don't get. Oh no!
Oh, Sil.
Oh, God, well, that's commentator's curse if there was one. That was it. Sorry, Sil.
Oh, 3-second penalty for Boy Williamson. Multiple warnings. That's
Now.
Yeah, that somewhat negated the extra time, well, the time lost for the replacement wing on Baz's car.
Yeah.
Before he comes into the pit now. Did you say?
Yeah, in and out, fairly straightforward. Should come out in P2 here.
I didn't mention earlier on, Baz has opted for the soft tyre as well, as has Boy.
Oh, it's going to be close.
Oh, dear
me. Oh! Oh, mama!
How's he managed that?
No idea.
He lost 5 seconds with the replacement wing.
I have no idea how he's done that.
That was 1 lap ago, so... Yeah, that outlap from Baz must have been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it must have been. Wow, very impressive stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely advantage Baz with Boy and his 3-second penalty.
Bit of grass there on his tyres, exiting turn 8.
Expect Sander Hermans to come in this lap as well.
Yeah.
Still a bit nearly within DRS range of Nicky Visser, despite being on harder tyres.
Yeah, he's certainly flying, isn't he, at the moment? I mean, I think he's still got the fastest lap, hasn't he? Yeah, he has 1:22.2 still. Oh no, sorry, there you go. They're brain now, is it?
Yeah. Nicky,
yeah, I think. Oh.
Oh, no,
Peter Philip.
So, yeah, he's passing the back marker. Sorry. Peter steps out the way of Steele as well. Good stuff.
Yeah. Close to Baz Brian. Sander Hermans is not fit, which is fair enough, but he's got to do it. He can't wait till the rain comes.
Oh no! I don't think he is. Well, maybe he is waiting for the rain, but he's only going to be able to do. I wouldn't want to do more than 5 more laps on those tyres.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can stretch a set of tyres out to sort of 80-85% wear. You'll be 3 seconds a lap slower than your maximum pace. But if you're only having to do that for 3 or 4 laps, that's 12 to 15 seconds lost. And you can save yourself the 20 seconds from an extra pit stop. So sometimes it does benefit you to stretch them out as far as they will go, particularly if there is going to be the chance of rain, because you can dodge a pit stop, but it's a risky move.
Yeah, I think in this case, like you said, it's probably counterproductive for Zyner to do that, losing that much time. He's only 9 seconds ahead of Brain at the moment. As Boy looks to make the move. Oh, there's contact. He's knocked his end plate off again.
Oh dear, these two.
These two just, they're like, they're children. Oh, Nicky's got right on the back here of them Brain. Is he going to look to slip it up the inside?
Nicky's definitely going to capitalise.
Yeah, again, a little nudge there from Nicky. Then Brain getting smacked around it.
It's like deja vu all over again for Den Brain with Boy Williamson and Nicky Visser. I don't want to say bullying him, because that's not what's going on. No. But he's got the two of them around him, and just he's just getting knocked about.
Yeah, it's I mean, especially that pass into turn 1 from Boy, he was barely on the track. Certainly, he was definitely trying to. He wanted that move, that's for sure.
Seal's past Baz as well now.
They're all going the wrong way in the field, is Baz now. And I think he's just lost that end plate, but it's obviously enough right now. causing problems.
As I've said a number of times about Badge, you can't ever rule him out.
No, you certainly can't.
Of a victory.
No.
Even at this late stage. I mean, I know it looks impossible, doesn't it? Because he's got damage. There's only 19 laps to go, or 20 laps including this one. And he's in the pit.
Thing to do, slap on the inters. Wait for the rain, brother.
Look, all it will take is a safety car, and you know, he's back to where he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Silhouette though doing very, very well. Starting from well, he was dead last, wasn't he?
Yeah, 16, up 12 places. A mighty fine drive.
It's not been a perfect race for him, or three-quarters of a race.
Certainly hasn't. He's had his little moments. Not had too many issues though.
No.
Been you know, any setbacks he's had has been mainly from kind of losing the car himself rather than anything else affecting him.
Yeah, but even in those moments when he did lose it, he managed to recover it.
Yeah.
Almost immediately. And then
Yeah,
as you said, sorry, go on.
Please go on. Please, no, you first.
And then I was just going to say then, you know, as you said earlier on, yeah, he didn't let his mistake affect him after that.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, much more composed, mature drive from Sil this evening. I don't know what Zander's plan is now then, because obviously he's 32 laps on these tyres. It is starting to cloud over a bit, but not worryingly. Definitely darker out on track. I think he's waiting for the rain.
Yeah.
Again, 11 seconds. Obviously that little kind of coming together they've had has really pushed them away from Zander now. It was 9 seconds before that.
That's true. However, he's losing 1.4 a lap to Boy. So he won't be able to do this for much longer.
The benefit they've got is they are teammates.
Yes.
So I don't know if they play a team game here.
They're certainly in communication with each other.
Especially considering, obviously, right now, Boy is leading and still will be leading the championship following this race. Zander's a bit further back down the field. They could play it into Zander's favour. To let him move up a couple more places here with 25 points for a win.
That's sort of the exact opposite of typical Ferrari team
yeah, the championship leader must always win.
And I say that as a Ferrari fan.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what they do.
It is indeed. To be honest, I think the same will happen here, but not because of that reason, just because Zander can't keep it in front of Boy.
Yeah.
Still a bit though, getting right on the back of Nicky Visser here. ERS in Nicky's favour here, but obviously DRS will be in Sil's. Good exit from Nicky. DRS open on Sildovic's car though.
Yeah, that exit was down to the soft tyres versus the mediums, but yeah, he's got this covered.
Look at that.
Who are ya?
Who are ya?
Season 6 champion, eh? Alright.
Alright then, whatever.
Let's go.
Really on ball. Podium right there.
Go on in. Do it.
I think he can taste the podium.
purple first sector for Seal as well. That was DRS assisted, of course.
Yeah. It's a bit of a nice confidence boost though, isn't it, when you get that purple sector come up on your screen when you go quick. Randa's really got to massage these tyres now, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's doing okay. He only lost 1.1 that lap. Funnily enough, the middle sector, he's not losing any time at all. It's only it's only really in the last sector, which you'd imagine, is the case because that's where you need all your mechanical grip around those sort of corners down the hill just before the pit entrance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The rest of the track just relies on the downforce of the car the downforce generated by the wings to keep the car on the track, not so much the tyres.
And Nicky though still sticking with the back of Sildavit here. Oh, still got a bit of a poor run there out of 8. I don't let Nicky get right on the back of him.
I always find the DRS zone there into the hairpin of turn 10. I always find that to be almost a little bit redundant.
Which corner is this? Sorry.
The sort of second DRS zone.
Yeah, it doesn't really add much, does it? I mean, if you're right on the back of the car in front, it's helpful. Make a move, but other than that, yeah, I know what you mean. There's not much point in having it.
1.2 lost by Sander to his teammate at that time.
Yep. He's definitely pushing his tyres into risky territory, isn't he? Oh, here comes the rain, though.
Oh.
I'm seeing the raindrops.
Oh, Sander's going to be loving this. He just needs it to settle.
Perfecto right now for Sander.
You can really see the degradation on his tyres as well, especially that left front. Oh, that horrible black or sort of dark black stripe.
At this point, race, if I was him, I'd be constantly asking Jeff for the weather report. for him to say, I think it's time for inters, and I'll be like, right, I'm in.
Yeah, because what he doesn't want to do is make the mistake of coming in too early, because that will kill his race.
Yeah. No, don't do it now.
Sander, I think that's too early.
I mean, if it starts to fall hard, he'll get away with it now because it's another full lap here with the rain on dry tyres, but I think it's too soon. Marcel Droning also comes in. He's opting for a wet tyre as well.
Inter.
Sorry, the Inter tyre. It's a wet tyre, isn't it? But it's, you know what I mean? It's a wet weather tyre is what I meant.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Just clarifying for the...
No, thanks, yeah.
Some of us don't speak Hazzah.
Hazzah! Very serious.
Very close to him there, Peter Phillip. I don't know if he needed to be quite so close on the pass.
No, but... I feel like Zander's really fucked this up. Just going to say how it is. There you go, another one unlapping himself. And this is purely pace-wise, he's not letting through.
Yeah.
It's because the dry tyre right now is quicker than that. And there goes Jamie Hartman. Actually passes him for position now.
Guido in the pit. He's on the inters. Only 3 drivers so far.
Yeah. Gonna have a gap so we can see the leader. Right now he's 22 seconds behind. He's just outside of a pit stop from the leader right now. You see we'll lose out.
The gap before he stopped was 6 seconds or so. Gap between.
I can't watch him anymore. so he's just struggling so much. That into tyre.
Yeah, I imagine the wear would have been something around the sort of 65% mark before he come in. You know, he could have done a few more. Yeah, they wouldn't have been nice laps and they wouldn't have been quick laps. But he had a bit of a cushion between himself and his teammate.
Yeah, with the rain coming.
To play with, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really isn't landing, is it, right now, this rain?
No.
That track's still very much a dry tyre track.
But he's just got no traction on turn 4. John Donald on laps himself, he's running 10th.
Yeah, sort of it actually passing there to lap Guido Ocean. So on board with Boy Williamson here. See how he handles the slightly soggier conditions at the moment. We'll see his tyres now are sort of approaching the end of their life, aren't they? 10,
yeah.
11 laps on them now.
Well, I mean, you know, you can push them as far as sort of 18. We saw, I think it was Miguel Torni. He did 21 on them on the soft tyre.
Yeah. That's pretty good going.
I think it was Torni. Might not have been.
Very deeper vein also opting to go for the Inter. That's 4 runners from now.
The just to sort of put this in perspective, the fastest lap of the race was a 21.2. Drivers that are still on the dry tyres, they're setting around sort of 23.8. You compare that with the likes of Sander Herman, he's setting a 35.9.
Oh god, 12 seconds slower.
Yeah.
Oh. Just it makes you cringe almost that he was leading this race. I mean, I generally thought he was on for a win.
Mhm.
Absolutely could have done it.
Yep, 100% agree with you there. But you know, it's
real shame.
It's a chance you take, isn't it? You're relying on the heavens opening up, and they open up a bit, and you think, oh yeah, the rain's coming. You come in, you think it's a bit of an inspired choice, and nobody else is coming in. You're under. Okay.
And you think, oh no, not inspired. Dave Hartman comes in now though. What tyre is he going to go for?
I still think it's too early.
Yeah,
to be
I do as
quite
well.
honest. We'll see.
It's definitely wetter now, but it's still not a wet track. Going for Inters yet?
Personally, I think this win is going to be it's either going to be Boy or Still. And the last time these two battled it out for the win was at a very soggy Silverstone. Still just lost out. He fought his way through the pack, much like he has in this race, and got within sort of 3 or 4 seconds of Boy by the end of the race. Spun it across the line, if I remember correctly.
Very nice.
Not intentionally.
Off track there. That's actually not forced on Nonkelov, but John reacted as he rejoined the track and went off a bit himself.
Oh, Boy's in, Eddie. Still now leading the race.
Oh, thanks there, Guido.
Eddie? No, I just call you Eddie. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Unbelievable.
Force of habit. I've done 50 races with it. With Eddie. Give me a break. Who are you?
Yeah, no worries. The resident artist.
I'm genuinely very sorry about that.
That's alright. Still a bit now, leading the way obviously with Boy having pitted. It's still too early, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, Sil's lap time at the moment. So remember I said 35.9 for the Inters on sort of dryish track. It's a 26.9 from Sil. So still...
It'll be quicker.
Yeah, it's still quicker.
Ronde now overtaking us. I don't know what happened there actually. Thought I saw Zander pass Damie as well.
He did.
Did he? I'm so confused. I thought I saw both Alfa Romeos drop behind him, but I don't know how they could have done because they. Anyway, whatever. Moves have been made, everybody.
Well, Sill's finally in the pit.
Soon, Sill. Oh, Nicky's coming as well. So
Nicky's in as well.
Should be good for out in the. It's going to be bloody close.
I'll keep an eye on Peter Phillips. He's the driver who's furthest up.
Sorry.
Oh.
Boy got really wide there through 16. This Sildovit's going to come out back in the lead, I think, here. Yeah, he is. That last couple of corners there really slowed Boy down.
Very deep in vein, gone off at turn 9. Looks like he's doing about an 18-point turn to get back on the track.
Oh, no, certainly not an ideal race for him tonight. It's something we often see, isn't it? With not often, but with a lot of the new guys starting, that first kind of 100% race is a bit daunting for them, I think.
Yeah.
If it is a case of their first one, and first race for a lot of the newcomers is always a bit difficult.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite often the case. Well, fairly frequently the case.
Yeah.
Peter Phillips, as I said, he's the driver who's furthest up, who's still on the dry tyres. It looks like he may be chancing it to the end. His lap time on the last lap was a 30.4. The intermediate runners are doing 32.5s.
It's starting to... Their lines are going to cross soon, aren't they? Where degradation and grip cross over, and I think it might be a bit too late for Peter, although it's a damn good effort. Certainly went up to good places. The Renaults look pretty good tonight, actually.
Yeah, they have.
At the start, we saw them both line astern, I think 7th and 8th, or 6th and 7th after that. And a chaotic run down to turn 1 after that, coming together between, I think, John and Berry.
Oh,
comes in and speeds in the pit lane.
Guido looking really slidey now. He's the last of the dry runners at the moment.
I think it probably is about time now. Although that track still looks dry, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's at the point where there isn't actually an ideal tyre for these conditions.
No, it's a changeover period, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
As we approach the final 6 laps here, just looking through our runners and riders, we'll go from front to back. Sildovit leading the way. I mean, he's queued up right now for one hell of a race win. Also, he's overtaken the whole field on changeable conditions, made the right call at the right time. I mean, if he wins this, it's driver of the day for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looked like it was going to be the case right from the get-go. Made up, 5-6 places on just the first lap alone.
Yeah.
And
really good stuff.
Yeah, even though I said it was not a perfect race from him, but even the mistakes that he made, he corrected them immediately and didn't allow them to affect the rest of his race. Yeah.
We've said it a couple of times, but certainly a much more mature-looking driver from Sildovit tonight compared to a couple of earlier races this season, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly developing well. Behind him, though, Boy Williamson for Ferrari. Again, another really good drive from him as well. He just looked like he's really owning this kind of leader in the championship status he's got at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, we saw him battle with Basden Breen for the first half of this race, at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, they did well. They were back and forth a few times, but yeah, ultimately came together on 2 separate occasions in this race. Boy seemed to have got away with scot-free really both times.
Yeah.
But despite that, he's had absolutely phenomenal race, and he won't be pleased to see Sildovit ahead of him. to call it revenge for Silverstone.
Yeah, a race I missed. I'll have to go and watch that one back now, I think, after what I've heard from it tonight, that's for sure. But yeah,
it was
yeah. But certainly, yeah, good race so far from Boyd Williamson. Nicky Visser is P3. And to be honest, with his pace tonight, I think he's done a pretty good job to hold P3.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He just didn't like the wet conditions earlier on. He doesn't seem to be enjoying them now. But when it was dry, yeah, he was absolutely flying. Yeah, I mean, I think with him sat on pole position, he would have teed himself up to probably win the race from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he got a very good start, and then it was he seems to be just fighting and losing the whole time. But yeah, did well to get back to P3.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's just struggled a bit with the pace tonight, hasn't he? But like you say, good job to get back to where he is now. Yeah. But can you just keep an eye on the fight for the lead here whilst I go through the rest of them?
Yes, absolutely.
Just because they look like they're getting a bit closer.
Stappers is out.
Stappers has crashed on. This could be safety car. Yeah, it is. Safety car's out.
Oh no.
This could be interesting. Or it could be good if it makes the track a bit more wet weather tyre condition. It could help them a bit, just kind of going behind the safety car.
Now you remember I said don't count out Basden Britain.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
Yeah, don't count out Basden Britain.
No. Certainly a big ask, but it's definitely doable. 5 laps, 5 places. See how he gets on. We're almost at him now, but Zander Herman is next up. A quiet race for the most part until the very end there, where he saw him lead the Grand Prix after the guys in front stopped.
Yeah.
A pit stop that I think we can agree we didn't deem necessary at the time, although he was on heavily worn tyres, so I kind of get the maybe urge to stop. But I think he threw away a podium for sure doing that.
Yeah, it's so tempting to come in when you see that the heavens open up and you know that your times are 4 or 5 seconds slower than what they were at the start of that stint.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's still a big difference between 5 seconds slower than your normal pace and 15 seconds slower than your normal pace.
Yeah, I mean, he was so far off those couple of laps, wasn't he?
Yeah. So, sometimes it is better just to sort of grit your teeth and get through those extra laps while the water builds on the track. But, yeah, despite that, yeah, it's been a good race for him. I mean, he started 6th. He's now 4th. Yeah, he led a few laps of the race. He had a potential podium. It didn't quite work out, but overall, I think he'll be relatively pleased with this.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a Zander we've been waiting to see come back for the last couple of races. Good for Ferrari's points tally. Do we see Guido retire? I know Mark just crashed, didn't he? But I didn't see Guido go.
We didn't. No, apologies. No, we didn't see that.
Missed that one. Sorry about that one, but
Guido, I did see Guido get a speeding penalty under the safety car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually see his crash. Try and work out where it is. Just as Miguel Torni comes around the final bend. Sorry, we'll continue through the order.
Indeed. So Damien Hartman is next up. He's looked like he struggled a bit, hasn't he, tonight? Sort of in terms of quality and the race. But I mean, he's held a good, consistent 5th and sort of 6th position, hasn't he, the most of the race? So he's driven a consistent drive, just not been on the form of, or on his usual form, really.
Yeah, I mean, 5th place is good. It's below par for sort of by his standards. I know they're 3rd and 4th in the championship, but they're leading the constructors, both of the Alfa Romeos. And of course he is the Season 5 champion as well, so yeah, you expect him to be a tad further up. But yeah, I just don't think he likes this track very much. No.
Yeah, I think I'll get that vibe from kind of the pace he's had tonight, that's for sure. I mean, albeit though, he is leading his teammate at the moment.
Yep.
Which we'll come on to now. And of course, Baz Den Brayen has been fighting for this Grand Prix win most of the race with Boy Williamson, who's currently P2. Again, a really good drive, hasn't crumbled under pressure. But the only thing that has crumbled is his front wing, which seems to keep getting knocked off by the man he was racing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what can you say about that? You know, it's sort of 2 racing incidents, but back to back, both of which just really cost him. It cost him the win, effectively. I know we've still got 3 laps of this race to go, and it's going to be a mad 3 laps. And yeah, I kind of want to keep an eye on that, you know, rather than go through the rest of the drivers. But it's, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah,
I'll leave it to you.
I know what you mean. No, that's fine. Are they coming in this lap, the safety car?
It hasn't said. I think we may do one more.
I mean, that's going to be mental.
Yeah.
A 3-lap dash to the end here.
The pressure will be on Sil. It's going to be immense.
Go on, boy.
Sil and Boy both have penalties though, so it could actually still be Nicky's race.
Yeah. Just quickly running through the rest of the order then. Here, Peter Phillip is P7. Again, Renault have looked really good, except for obviously Mark having that unfortunate retirement towards the end of the Grand Prix here tonight. But certainly a good amount of pace between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I think Peter was looking to make a pretty good strategy call there. Went as long as he could, I think, before he had to come in. But up 5 places from P12. Can't argue with that.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely not. No, it's probably one of the best races I've seen from Peter Phillip. Certainly this season, and perhaps even in previous seasons as well. I know we sort of criticised him slightly for coming in sort of lap 4 or 5 or whatever it was from because he started on the wets. It looked like he knew something the rest didn't, but it turns out that perhaps wasn't the case. The rain wasn't quite as heavy as it first looked.
No, I mean, he certainly stayed out as long as he could, didn't he, on the dries?
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't come in as early as some of the other guys.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, he was the fastest man on the track by about 4 seconds. So.
Yeah.
And then, just started to lose the grip, coming for the Inters, and here he is, P7. I mean, it's going to be 6 championship points.
Yeah,
and
cracking stuff.
I don't remember him getting a penalty.
Absolutely. Marcel Droney then is behind him. Again, he's sort of out of place. He's been lapped. He's actually sat in P7, but he is P8. Good. I mean, Red Bull looked really good in qualifying, and actually during the race, the first half of the race, they were looking pretty good too. Obviously, Marcel's not lost or gained a place, so can't argue with that, can you? I mean, he's kept his P8. He's going to finish the race, get a nice 4 points for the team.
Yep, solid performance from Marcel again. I don't think it's a track he likes particularly much, very much. Safety car is in.
So. So just quickly, John Donkel, P9, Ari Cops, P10 at the moment, Miguel Torney, P11, and Barry Deepervane, P12 as it stands. We'll run through their races at the end of the race, but I think right now we need to focus on this restart from Sil.
This is a big backup. Those cars were actually stationary on track because of the congestion.
Yeah, and Sil's gone quite early actually, before kind of the last corner, but actually it's worked out quite nice for him here. Yeah, as Boy Williamson slides there, he's going to definitely have a second lead here. I mean, as restarts go, we haven't seen him done any so far this season. That's a pretty good one as far as safety car restarts go.
Yeah.
Got 2 laps now to hold on to this from a charging Ferrari behind him. Further back down the grids, I think everything's kind of stayed the same, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Bit of a gap. Yeah, bit of a gap between 3 and 4.
Yeah, certainly pulled out a bit there as Nicky Visser from Zander Herman.
Ari Kopp is off track. That's the yellow flags.
Okay, yeah, I can see Miguel Torney getting quite close to him now on the map. Oh, I'm feeling the pressure for Sil right now. This is but I mean, again, he's kept it under control really well so far for this first lap, leading the race from a rolling start with Boy right behind him. It's still just shy of a second.
Yeah.
Come around the third sector, turn 12 here. 4 corners to go before he begins his final lap. Now the gap is a second.
Yeah, my only criticism might be just how much he... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, I just saw Sil sort of drift it around the last corner. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'll just say, yeah, my only criticism might be just sort of quite how much he did back the pack up before the safety car restart.
Yeah, what is the actual one? You can't...
I don't know.
Control the pace, but to a certain degree, you can't actually...
Can't sort of stop. I don't think he did stop. But
no, I mean, he just really slowed up.
The traffic behind him did have to stop because of the sort of knock-on effect of, you know, slower cars.
Yeah.
Or of slowing down, I mean. Yellow's in 1. That's that Miguel Torney in the Mercedes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, Williams has got a 3-second penalty. I don't know what Sil de Wit's got. I'm not to say that Sil de Wit's going to be past here, but it could be a bit of a saving grace for him here. Take the pressure off a bit. He's not got a penalty.
Sil de Wit has 3 penalties. That's 9 seconds.
What's Boy got? I don't think he's got that many.
2 penalties, 6 seconds.
He's not going to win anyway as it stands. I'll not even finish second.
Nicky Visser has 1 penalty, 3 seconds.
Right, okay.
Sander Hermans has no penalties.
There you go. Sil de Wit crosses the line, first place, but Boy Williams... Oh, Nicky Visser wins! What? So Nicky Visser takes the lead after penalties, wins the Spanish Grand Prix of F1 Tonight Netherlands, Season 7, Round 5. Nicky Visser is your race winner. Boy Williamson P2, Baz Dembreyen P3, Sil de Wit doesn't even finish on the podium.
Oh,
P4.
Ouch.
P5 Zander Herman, Damie Hartman's P6, Marcel Droning P7, Don Donkel P8, Peter Phillip is P9, Ari Kopp is the last one to take points tonight, he's P10, then Miguel Torney comes down the last corner, he takes P11, and Barry Deepervane takes P12.
Deepervane finished the race on his debut. That's an achievement.
Good going, yeah. What you need to do, finish races, get points.
So Nicky Visser won the race from pole without ever leading a lap.
Yeah. That's a funny one. And we got a red left front wing as well. not even got a full wing. Well, my driver today is still Sil de Wit. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. I'll go with Sil de Wit. You know, despite that questionable safety car restart, yeah, I think he's done an absolutely fantastic job to come from last place, leading the race on track. Of course, yeah, a bit unfortunate to finish not even on the podium, but you know that's what happens when you are pushing that hard. You get the penalties, and yeah, it knocks your time down. And that safety car, with 3 laps to go, yeah, there was no way he was going to make up the gap that the penalties would have caused.
I mean, even without the safety car, he still would have been in that drop zone.
Yep.
The penalties in effect.
But yeah, overall, an absolutely fantastic race.
Indeed, yeah. Certainly can't argue that. 16th to 4th. Nice haul of points for McLaren. Interesting to see how the constructors look after Ferrari finish 2nd and 5th versus the 3rd and 6th of Alfa Romeo. I think it's still not quite enough.
Yeah,
but
so
certainly be close.
Yeah, but both beat their you know, counterparts of the opposing team. But yeah, that's not going to be enough to change their positions in the standings. Dembreyen still made it onto the podium.
Yeah. I don't even think it crossed the line in P3. I think it crossed the line sort of P6 or P5.
P6. Yeah, it's P6.
I was like, you must be on the podium. Apparently Monaco's on up next. We're starting the Monaco Grand Prix now, ladies and gentlemen. Early. I've not seen them queue up the next track already in a lobby before.
Yes,
yeah, you can see it's ready to go. It's a whole full Grand Prix marathon whilst we're all at home doing nothing.
Well, we might as well.
Yeah. But yeah, very, very good race. Thanks to everybody as always for watching. We do appreciate your support. Thanks to all the drivers for coming out. Great turnout as always, and a very, very good race to watch. Thank you to all of you. And of course, as always, thank you to the magnificent, the fantastic, the absolutely wonderful to commentate with, Guido Urshan. I mean, Adrian Rich.
It's been a pleasure, Eddie. No, it genuinely has. Yeah, always enjoy commentating these races alongside you, Dan. It's an absolute pleasure and joy to work with you. So thank you very much.
Very much. Likewise to yourself, sir. But have you got anything else to add to this evening?
I can't remember. I didn't write it down. Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. But of course, as always, thanks to everybody, and it's a huzzah from me.
And goodbye from me. Goodbye.